Yeah, posting my tap dancing videos is easier than ever because we engineered Xfinity Internet with 99.99% network reliability.
Plus, Xfinity Mobile with Wi-Fi Power Boost gives you ultra-fast Wi-Fi at home and on the go. But wait, tap dancing? You don't tap dance.
Hey, what I lack in skill, I make up with passion.
Do more of what you love and love how fast you do it with Xfinity Internet and mobile. Through June 23rd, get 400 megabit Xfinity Internet with free equipment and unlimited internet data. Plus, get one unlimited 5G mobile line included, all for $40 a month for 1 year. And ask how you can get a free 5G phone. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply with paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Xfinity Internet required. Taxes, fees extra. After 1 year, rate increases to $70 per month. After 2 years, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Cars for Kids, the easy way to donate your car. Donate today and your car can be picked up tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.com or 1-877-CARS4KIDS.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Kathan. A federal judge says Google illegally dominated markets for online advertising technology, ruling in an antitrust case brought by the government. CBS News tech contributor Ian Scher.
This case revolves around advertising technology and effectively saying that Google used its power as one of the largest websites in the world to drive up prices for advertising.
President Trump posted on social media that Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell's termination cannot come fast enough. That swipe comes after Powell warned the Trump tariffs will likely mean higher inflation and slower economic growth. Hofstra University constitutional law expert James Sample.
The mere threat of terminating Chairman Powell is uncharted territory. The idea of following through on it raises a host of, at this point, unsettled legal questions.
In the battle over a man mistakenly deported to El Salvador, the Trump administration released court documents from a 2021 domestic violence case that named Kilmar Abrego Garcia. CBS's Camilo Montoya Galvez spoke to his wife.
She did file a protective order against him in 2021, but she told us in a statement that they were able to resolve that issue as a family and that he's still a loving father and husband.
Abrego Garcia has not been charged with or convicted of any crime. Trump administration's escalated its ongoing battle with Harvard, now threatening to revoke the university's ability to host international students. It seems federal money for some farms has been held up and may have dried up.
With spring planting season here, many farmers in Ohio are in a bad way after the Trump administration froze $1 million for a federal program that allows growers to hire migrant farm workers.
It's a legal way for people to be here. It's a way that it protects both the farmer and the farm worker.
Bryn Bird is president of the Ohio Farmers Union.
Yes, the lack of labor will surely hit all of us in our pocketbooks.
Up to 75% of farm laborers in Ohio are Hispanic. Jim Ursula, CBS News.
Well, CBS's Michael Wallace tells us the rapper Drake has expanded a defamation lawsuit he brought against his label, Universal Music.
Drake says more people now believe he's a pedophile after Kendrick Lamar performed his song Not Like Us during the Super Bowl halftime show and the Grammys.
Say, Drake, I hear you like I'm young.
Drake claims those performances have led to more threats against him and his family. Universal calls Drake's accusations baseless and an affront to creative expression.
And checking Wall Street, right now the Dow is down 486 points. The S&P is 12 points higher. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
A former high school basketball coach convicted of sex crimes goes back to court. That story coming up. But first, from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. You had a stall northbound on I-5 near JBLM. Long cleared, but you're still slow from DuPont to Lacey. Travel time Olympia to Tacoma, 50 minutes. That's about 20 longer than typical. Otherwise, your travel times are pretty good. Everett to Seattle, 40 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 50. Renton to Bellevue, nothing terribly out of the ordinary here. Traffic brought to you by Beacon Plumbing. For all your heating, electrical, septic, and mechanical needs, stop freaking call Beacon.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A former Sumner High School basketball coach found guilty of sexually abusing 8 players is set to be sentenced this hour. When Jake Jackson was convicted in January, one of his victims, Jackson Cummings, told KIRO 7 TV.
It just feels like a weight lifted off my shoulders. Feels like I can start to take one step at a time forward and start moving on with my life.
Jackson coached for the Sumner High School Spartans between 2016 and 2022. He was found guilty on 19 counts of sexual abuse. A shooting in Tacoma on Saturday is now a homicide investigation. Police say an adult and a teenager were shot along Portland Avenue. The victims managed to get to a hospital. The adult was in stable condition, but the teenager has now died from his injuries. No word on arrests. Police are trying to find the man who grabbed a 10-year-old boy by the wrist as the child rode his bicycle near the Linwood Golf Course on Monday. Commander Joe Dickinson.
So we don't know if this was someone upset about somebody riding bikes on the trail or what. So, but there definitely was. What's concerning is this gentleman reaching out and grabbing a kid.
The child and the other 2 boys he was with were able to get away from the man. No one was injured. We have a description of the suspect police are looking for, and you can find that at mynorthwest.com. When you hit the button on a crosswalk, you expect to hear,
"Walk sign is on."
But at some crosswalks in Seattle recently, people heard Jeff Bezos.
This crosswalk is sponsored by Amazon Prime with an important message. Please don't tax the rich. Otherwise, all the other billionaires will move to Florida, too.
That sound shared on Reddit. The city says crosswalks at 6 intersections had been hacked and are now fixed. A similar hack happened in Northern California, where crosswalk devices spouted fake Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk messages. Mariners catcher Cal Rowley has been on a hot streak.
The 1-2 to Cal. Swung on, blasted left field. This is hit well. It is back. It is on its way, and it is gone.
Raleigh notched 2 home runs in Seattle's 5-3 win over the Cincinnati Reds yesterday. The team plays again in Cincinnati today at 9:40 a.m. Seattle time, so just about 40 minutes from now. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine today with highs in the mid-60s. It's 51 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, April 17th. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Before I say good morning to you, Ursula, I want to tell you something. I want to tell you that this morning, today, I woke up on the good side of the bed.
You sure did.
I woke up, I'm in such a good mood. The weather is beautiful. Life is good. So I'm going to tell you what all of us are thinking. Our mood for the next 3 hours on this show is dependent on you. See, sometimes, Ursula, you set us up with the top news stories of the day, and you really kind of shape the mood of the day.
Oh, you're going to blame me. I'll tell you what, your reaction to the day's stories is what sets the mood. How's that?
I never thought about that.
Right? Exactly.
Wait.
Hey,
So-
you know what?
That's a good point.
We all have agency. We can determine how we're going to react to what is the news of the day.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you today you are going to have some laughs. Okay. If you've been feeling blue about owning a fancy electric car that's been in the news a lot lately, you know you might be suffering from Tesla regret syndrome.
TRS is a condition afflicting Tesla owners everywhere. People who chose their car because they care about the future, only to discover that the CEO is an egomaniac out to dismantle the U.S. government and sell it for parts.
So coming up at 9:30, because Gee, if people don't know already, you are a Tesla owner. we're going to be talking about the symptoms, but because we are problem solvers, we're going to also talk about some remedies.
Yeah, and then I'm going to expect you and our listeners to help me.
Keep you in a good mood.
Help me.
Yes.
All right, Ursula.
Yes. Text line 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Okay. Hey, y'all, remember what I said. Ursula sets the tone with the stories. Here comes Ursula's top stories of the day, brought to you by Batfitter Northwest.
When some pedestrians in Seattle hit the crosswalk button, they were surprised by a voice that was supposed to guide them safely across the street.
Hi, I'm Jeff Bezos. This crosswalk is sponsored by Amazon Prime with an important message. Please don't tax the rich. Otherwise, all the other billionaires will move to Florida too. Wouldn't it be terrible if all the rich people left Seattle or got Luigi'd and then normal people could afford to live here again? Jeffrey Bezos.
Well, obviously, hackers are behind this. They installed the fake audio messages, and now crews from Seattle's Department of Transportation are scrambling to get them fixed. They want people to report if you hear of one of these fake audio messages at the crosswalks. They say these audio signals are designed to help visually impaired pedestrians, and the hackers have now made these intersections dangerous. And it's not just happening in Seattle. The hackers have also tampered with crosswalks in California.
Hi, this is Elon Musk. Welcome to Palo Alto, the home of Tesla engineering. They say money can't buy happiness, and yeah, okay. I guess that's true. God knows I've tried, but it can buy a Cybertruck, and that's pretty sick, right? I'm so alone.
Okay, here's one more.
Hi, this is Mark Zuckerberg, but real ones call me the Zuck. It's normal to feel uncomfortable or even violated as we forcefully insert AI into every facet of your conscious experience. And I just want to assure you, you don't need to worry because there's absolutely nothing you can do to stop it. Anyway, see ya.
Okay, am I a horrible person that I was laughing when I was listening to some of these? It's dangerous, first of all. So I wanted to say that, and there are vandals, but I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
Laugh because they think that the system was breached remotely, and it was done by exploiting some outdated software. Yeah. Because I know the next question is, how on earth did this happen?
Yeah, it started out one way, but it went another, and I couldn't laugh at any of this. And the part that is not making news, that should make news in this, yeah, sure, that someone got in here and hacked this. But the bad joke in this, the part that's not funny, is it has now become a verb, Luigi'd.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Luigi'd, and that part of it, and I'm not making this up. We have people, and matter of fact, I put a thing on X the other day. We have people in our country that feel that what Luigi did is okay, that feel that CEOs and other people should be harmed in that way. Full stop. You can't, on one hand, call some folks hateful and not think that this is hateful. And by the way, this type of hatefulness, Luigi, is in the same climate as I talk about all the time. So I know I was supposed to make light of this, but Luigi took me out.
No one told you how you're supposed to react.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm just saying that as I listened to it, I'm going to be honest, I chuckled.
Yeah.
That said, no, whoever did this should pay the consequences. Chef is rolling his eyes at this point. I mean, this falls under the same category for me as people who target the Teslas and vandalize the Teslas. I get that you want to make a joke or, I mean, is this entirely harmless? I'm going to say mostly, because we haven't heard of anyone who has been hurt by going across one of these crosswalks. But again,
I just want to say this: the same way sometimes that I might get on the roll, and sometimes on this show I become insufferable, and I might say something that you're like, okay, G, it's not funny anymore. That's fine. This whole thing, I can't see anything funny about it because they used the Luigi part. Once that did that, I'm out.
Yeah.
I can't even, like, if they would have left that out, we would have had an entire different segment on this. I would have been laughing and all of that, the rich and all that. But the Luigi, I'm out.
Yeah, I hear you. Seattle area businesses are now fighting President Trump's trade war, saying it is threatening their future. Jeff Demir is CEO of Seattle-based Swaddle Designs. He says all of their baby products are made in China, where they have long-standing relationships with the factories. And these changing tariffs, he says, are hurting his company.
Last month, we brought in a container with a value of about $200,000, and we had to pay an extra $20,000 to bring that in.
This month, they're bringing in another container that'll cost $40,000 additional dollars.
We have a container that's right now sitting in China. That container would cost us $300,000 of extra tariffs, given the 145%.
President Trump insists these tariffs are going to boost manufacturing in the U.S., which is one of the ultimate goals. But Demir says
there's just no way that we could ever bring production back.
Chris Stone is deputy director of the Washington State Wine Commission, which represents over 1,000 family-owned wineries and over 400 farmers. And he says other countries are retaliating because of all these tariffs, and that's also now killing business.
The best example would be Canada, our number one export market, which literally disappeared overnight.
Democratic Senator Maria Cantwell and Republican Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley have now introduced the Trade Review Act, which they say would return most of the control over tariffs to Congress.
I'm not an expert. I'm going to go ahead and defer this time because I know that we have some tariff experts that's here listening to the show. I need you to do me a favor. I need you to text in right now and you tell me and the business owners. That way, the business owners that have pallets over there waiting, right, that are going to be paying an extra $100,000 to $150,000 for this product, what should they do? Let's just simple. What should they do? What advice should they? Or do you tell them
they're going to eat it? Either going to eat it, or they're going to pass it on to consumers, or they're going to go under.
So, but it was said to either tighten your belt, okay, or just hold on a little bit and wait. Is that the suggestion that you have for these business owners? And oh, by the way,
there is a campaign right now with folks saying, "Hold on, be patient." I mean, so the folks who are not just Trump supporters, but people who are saying who believe in tariffs say, yeah, ultimately this is going to work out. You just have to be patient.
Okay.
So my question would be, can you be patient?
Sure.
Text us 888-973-5476 888-973 KIRO. A man accused of a double murder outside a Seattle hookah lounge has pleaded not guilty to those crimes. 25-year-old Leonti Berry is accused of shooting or first hitting one of the victims in the face before allegedly shooting him 4 times in a courtyard outside the nightclub. The second victim was a security guard who confronted him and chased him before Berry allegedly turned and fired his gun at least 5 times, killing him. It turns out, and we've reported this, Gee, that Berry was already on probation for federal gun charges at the time of this shooting, so he wasn't even supposed to have a weapon. And he previously worked as a case manager for a youth incarceration diversion program, Community Passageways, and was a stipend worker for a new program called 100 Days of Peace. Mm-hmm. Now he's being held on $5 million bail.
Yeah, sometimes this is a black eye, not sometimes, but this right here specifically is a black eye on restorative justice programs. When you have a case manager of one of these restorative justice programs being involved in this, all you do is you fuel the fire of those that say, see, we can't do this anymore. And that's why it is a real black eye, Ursula, because this is the point. So what I'm saying is for all the people that believe that someone should be able to get a second chance, where you have organizations out here that facilitate those opportunities. And by the way, I'm still raising my hand. I'm not saying I don't believe in restorative justice, because I do. I do believe that just throwing someone in jail, once they get out, they need to have some type of pathway to bend and blend into the world. With that being said, we all know and see all of the programs around the country that are going away. You and we need everyone's support and positive thoughts for restorative justice programs. When you have a damn case manager commit these crimes right here, it really makes it hard, Ursula.
I'll tell you what helps to bring hope is to have concrete evidence that these programs work. And that's the part that I don't see enough, and they don't share enough.
Boom. Boom. And right there, full stop. We need more stories. We need to hear them talk about the positive things. And by the way, I do believe that there are positive stories. Please, let's get them out there and talk about it more. And by the way, if you're listening right now, come on. Yeah. Come on and tell us these success rates. Tell us these stories.
And the government agencies that are giving them the money and just throwing them money, don't do it on a performative basis, but do it because you've actually seen that these programs are effective and that you can prove when people ask, okay, what's your proof that this works and this money is going to the right thing, that you can do it and easily do it.
To your point, the King County Prosecutor's Office did tell us on the show that the recidivism rates of people who go through restorative justice programs is lower than those who go for traditional incarceration. And I would just say to the folks who say, look, this is an example of why we need to stop wasting money on these programs, I never hear you say that when we hear a story about a bad police officer, right? We don't try and get rid of rehab programs because people relapse. There's going to be stories like this, no matter what avenue of the criminal justice system people go through. We don't throw out the whole program. We try and make them better.
Absolutely. And I think that's essentially what we said. The question, and I don't understand the part about the cops. What was that?
Oh, okay. You want to deal with crime? Okay, we can go through the police, we can go through jail, we can go through restorative justice. If you have a scandal in a police department, there are folks who said defund the police, right? George Floyd. There's a scandal that happens with the restorative justice program. We have a lot of right-wing media that says, this is a waste of money, we need to stop funding, let's get rid of it entirely. I think both perspectives are wrong.
Yeah, and what Gee and I were saying is, if you can show that it is effective, it's unfortunate that stories like this come out when we're trying to show that these programs, need to continue, but unfortunately things like this actually hurt them. Tacoma police need your help to catch a man who made threats at the doorstep of state troopers' home. On April 7th, the security camera recorded the guy walking up to the door of the home where a WSP vehicle was parked in the driveway. He can be seen waving what looked like a gun, pointing at the camera, and then flipping the camera off. And after he walks out of the frame, you hear this.
I want to see my face now. You know what is right around your. You know what I'm saying?
You can see the video at mynorthwest.com. If you recognize this person, you're asked to call Tacoma Pierce County Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS.
Why are you laughing?
Because of your reaction. Because you're practically running around in place. Why are you doing that?
Because
this guy wasn't. What was the point of that? And the fact that he gets on there and almost seemingly knows there's a camera there and thinks he's going to get away with it.
Mm-hmm. But Ursula, I want to pull the curtains back and bring everybody to our meeting about this. Now, I heard Luke Ducey gave this report, talked about it on with Seattle's Morning News this morning. And Ursula, by that time, I had not gone to mynorthwest.com because that's where you could go and see the video. Ursula, I had not seen the video. Anyway, in our morning meeting this morning, it came up. Now, I had already had an opinion before I even saw the video. And Ursula, so kind as she is, you know how you got that one friend that wants to tell you something in a way and make sure it's comfortable? Well, Ursula said, Gee, have you seen the video?
Yeah.
And when Ursula, when you asked that, I know what you were saying. And to which I told Ursula, Ursula, I already know. When he said, you know what I'm saying? I knew he was black. I knew he was black when he said, you know what I'm saying? And then that got to saying to me, I said to myself, Self, whoever this person is, they need to lock him up. And I'll tell you why. For a black man to go into the video camera of a state trooper's home, that dude is dangerous. Like, seriously, he does not care to threaten law enforcement. Do you know how?
I would argue anyone, black man, white man, anyone who is stupid enough to do that. I mean, you're not thinking.
I'm going to bring you to a black barbershop right now and just tell you the truth now. I'm telling you. That is you just don't see that. Matter of fact, you're right. You don't see anybody doing that.
Yeah, that's just dumb.
But this right here,
dangerous.
Didn't even care about the camera?
Yeah.
That person's dangerous.
Okay, I need to end on something positive because it's been an amazing week for Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh. The big dumper has 5 home runs in the last 5 games, including 2 in yesterday's victory against the Cincinnati Reds.
Pitch to Cal, swing and a fly ball deep into right field. Fraley going back, looking up, and goodbye baseball.
So now he has 7 home runs on the season with 100 career home runs. Those 2 yesterday were the difference in the game. M's won 5-3. They take on the Reds again in Cincinnati. And Gee, you have become a baseball, specifically a Mariners fan this season.
I have. There's 3 things that I do every single day. I smoke meat on the Traeger. I watch Mariner baseball. And I watch stories and history and documentaries on World War II. That is my life every single day. Seeing Cal Raleigh hit these home runs. Ursula, that's 5 now. That's 5 now in 5 games. He's on pace for 63 home runs. I'm telling you right, there's something in that dumper.
I think there's something in that bat.
Oh, yeah, it's for sure the blue pill of bats. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
It's a thunder bat. Blue pill of bats. You're killing me. It's okay to laugh. It's okay. It's okay. Man, we're just squeezing the joy out of every one of these stories.
Jerry in the 206 says, I take more offense to the fashion comments of King County Metro drivers. Ursula, I don't know if you heard on SMN this morning.
You're mean to Charlie. You're a bully.
I told Charlie he looked like a King County Metro driver. And so Jerry took offense.
Well, maybe Jerry's a Metro bus driver.
Send a picture of yourself, Jerry.
Charlie looked like he had a uniform. It wasn't bad or good. He just looked like he was wearing a uniform.
I know.
I'm trying to save you.
Okay, well, this next segment coming up, I need you and everyone, because I think this is going to be the time that I'm going to need everyone's help. And right now, there is a syndrome that so many are suffering from, including me. Ursula breaks this down next. Gee and Ursula.
Are you putting off your new kitchen plans? Why wait? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft, and we've got an offer you're not going to want to wait for. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves. Whatever you like, we'll help you create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, and expense than a tear out. Stop waiting. We're having a trade-in sale. You'll save $30 per door and drawer front off the cost of your new kitchen. Count them up and see how much you'll save. Years of experience, thousands of happy customers. Call today and let one of our pros come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Mother's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for moms and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Right now, a lot of us are worried about how we spend our money, and you want to make sure that if you're going to be getting a big ticket item like a car, that you are going to get your money's worth. And that is what you will get at Carter Subaru. We have been so pleased with our experience dealing with Carter Subaru that we have been repeat customers, and the next time we are in the market for a car, we're going to go back to Carter Subaru because they will treat you like family. You know that they are going to keep it straight, Make sure that you get the most value for your money. And at Carter Subaru, your drive always begins with savings. Right now, you can get the 2025 Crosstrek with 3.9% APR for 48 months. Or if you want to go electric with the 2025 Solterra EV, get 0% APR for 72 months. Carter Subaru has the vehicle that you've been searching for, with right now over 300 new vehicles in stock, including the 2025 Outback, now with 2.9% financing for 36 months on approved credit. Shop with the Carter Subaru Advantage and enjoy valet parking at their Ballard dealership and at-home delivery across all locations.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 4/30/25.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s. And less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Guys, thinking about testosterone replacement therapy? Revive Men's Health can help you get started if you're ready to book your free T-check. Visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. That's Revive, R-E-V-I-B-E, menshealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A key Washington state industry may take a multi-million-dollar hit because of President Trump's tariffs. Chris Stone is deputy director of the Washington State Wine Commission, which represents over 1,000 family-owned wineries and 400-plus farmers. He says the tariffs have drawn retaliation.
The best example would be Canada, our number one export market, which literally evaporated, disappeared overnight.
In response to the U.S. tariffs, Canada has banned U.S. alcohol sales, a loss of $10 to $12 million in business. President Trump says his tariffs will boost manufacturing in the U.S. and give the U.S. leverage to reduce tariffs that other countries place on American products. But the tariffs also sparked this warning from Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell.
The level of tariff increases announced so far is significantly larger than anticipated, and the same is likely to be true of the economic effects, which will include higher inflation and slower growth.
That message sent stocks diving yesterday and prompted Trump to post on Truth Social today, Powell's termination cannot come fast enough. Constitutional law expert James Sample.
The mere threat of terminating Chairman Powell is uncharted territory. The idea of following through on it raises a host of, at this point, unsettled legal questions.
New developments in the case of the Maryland man deported to El Salvador. The White House has produced a protection order Kilmer Abrego Garcia's wife took out against him in 2021. She says they did work it out and he was never charged. CBS's Kimio Montanez Galvez.
They're trying to undermine the public argument for returning him to the U.S., despite the fact that they have admitted in federal court that they made a legal mistake here.
Lawmakers and defense lawyers are trying to get him back to the U.S. Local politics, Washington state Democrats just made a rule change that could get their tax proposals passed quicker.
When a bill passes out of a committee, there's a 24-hour hold in case lawmakers change their mind. But with more than a dozen tax bills sitting in the queue and the end of session just days away, Senate Majority Leader Jamie Peterson says that delay needs to go. Republican Senator Drew McEwen.
Why we're having this rule change is because there's a lot of tax bills that are being heard that could have been introduced sooner, and frankly, given the public more time to hear that.
5 tax bills heard in committee Wednesday were introduced just the day before. Matt Markovich, KIRO News Radio.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 349 points. NASDAQ is up about 25. From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, an earlier stall has you still a bit slow on northbound I-5 near JBLM. You are pumping brakes on and off from DuPont to Lacey. Travel time Olympia to Tacoma, 44 minutes. That's about 15 longer than typical. Other travel times are either on target or just a bit faster than usual. Everett to Seattle will take you about 33 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 44. Renton to Bellevue, 31. Traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine today with highs in the mid-60s. It's 51 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. We're going to have another attempt at bringing some levity to your morning. And here we go. And it might be at Gee's expense because...
I just want to, Ursula, you don't be thinking about me. And you don't be thinking about it. When you hit us with these news things, do you know it's a Chamber of Commerce day today?
It is a beautiful Chamber of Commerce day today.
So then why you got to always hit us with the hard news?
You're so funny. Okay. At least you have a cup of coffee. Mm-hmm. And I'll bring you the news, and then we can also find those moments of levity. Okay, so if you're a Tesla owner, how have you been feeling these days? Like, what's a word to describe you as a Tesla owner right now?
Well, I can't say crappy.
Oh, well.
Crappy.
A Seattle activist group that's been organizing these protests aimed at Elon Musk and Tesla showrooms, the peaceful ones, they have come up with a new commercial.
Have you been avoiding eye contact with other drivers? Do you experience intense feelings of guilt when honked at, even before knowing the reason? Do you find yourself giving preemptive disclaimers about your car?
I bought it 5 years ago.
Is there an ominous hum inside your head that has increased steadily in volume since the last election? A deep and abiding sense of dread that accompanies every waking moment? Are you worried that you're enabling the fall of democracy? If these symptoms describe you, you may be suffering from Tesla Regret Syndrome, or TRS.
Okay, so you get that part. So GeekWire reports the satirical ad is part of a larger campaign by this group called Troublemakers. The group has created a website. We're problem solvers, too. This website includes calls to action to help get rid of TRS.
There's an effective treatment that can be performed non-surgically at a local dealership or even right from your own home by simply offloading your Tesla and any stock you have in Elon's companies. With the impending recession, we know that not everyone can afford this treatment. Many sufferers have experienced temporary relief from the application of a simple adhesive.
Okay, a couple of other remedies, they say. Attend a peaceful protest. They're not advocating any of this crazy violence against Tesla owners. Now you look like you're really kind of upset.
Well, when Chef sent over this story, usually, and by the way, there has been tension between myself and Chef on Tesla topics. Right?
Really?
And rightfully so, because again, this is one of those things where, you know, like we're talking about Teslas. Like I have Teslas, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I got 2 Teslas.
In your household, yes.
In my household. And he sends over something today that, and it's like this one right here, it's real. So I'm not making this up. I showed you, I won't say what it was, but I showed you my lease payment that comes out every 20th of the month.
Can I share that it's more than our house payment?
If you want, but it's done already. So I pay a lot of money. I don't drive it anymore. It sits in my garage. I drive my other car every single day, and I cannot wait until this lease is over. And I didn't feel this way, like even all the way up to December. But now, that dude really low key. Look, and if you have a Tesla or you buy a Tesla, I'm not on here discouraging you.
There are people who are getting bargains on Teslas. I understand that there are. One of my friends said, some of my conservative friends over on Kitsap County are buying up Teslas.
Oh, the deals that they give you now, like my homeboy, his lease is getting ready to be up in August. And he's like, I don't know what to do because he can get another one after this lease is over and be paying $600 less a month for the same vehicle. And so for me, like.
Okay, but did you like it though? You didn't buy it because I've got to. Here's my chance to push back. And yes, I'm going to try to.
Okay, come on.
Pick the other side of this.
Okay.
Is there anything that could happen though that would change your
Nothing.
mind? Because you have liked this car. You have loved this car. It was kind of a something like a sign of prestige in a way.
Yes. Like everything that car does, it's incredible. It's fast. I mean, extremely, right? I'm not a speeder, but it has everything, every bells and whistles. I'm talking about top of the line. It is a phenomenal car. It really feels like if I drive that car, I'm not going to go, I don't want to mess up the segment. I just don't feel right when I drive it. So I just leave it in the garage. I got until next year.
Ouch.
Every single 20th of the month, I'm going to get reminded. And then when I'm done with that vehicle, I'm done with that vehicle. But I've never been in a vehicle before where I felt a certain way about driving it. Again, I'm not spending this segment telling you all how you should feel about your Tesla. This is me, how I feel. That thing is in the garage. I don't drive it anymore. It sucks.
So I want to know what folks are doing, though, if you drive a Tesla, because Tesla even surpassed Subaru in a recent report they were talking about before all of this, before Elon got involved with Doge. And I think that's the biggest issue for a lot of folks.
Yeah.
It wasn't that he was the owner of X or the things he was doing with X. It really was after the
Doge and all that stuff.
Yes. Like if you are an owner of Tesla and you don't have the option that you have, which is to just park it, what are you doing right now?
I don't know.
I mean, I have a friend who has a Tesla. She loves it. I was just in it. We drove to the Tulip Festival in it. Sure. And I understand why people would actually like that car.
No doubt. I mean, I can seriously, when I leave work, I can press a button and it drives me home. Who wouldn't like that? You know what I mean? Like, it's everything that you would want. I charge it up at home. I don't have to worry about gas. It has everything. But the last 3 months, I can't do it. And so I'll just wait for the lease to drop. Until then, I might have to go wash dishes somewhere because your boy is struggling.
I like the stickers.
Yeah.
Like when I see one with a sticker,
Yes.
I both laugh at the sticker and I also feel bad for the person because we all know viscerally nobody bought the car because they're like, I want to provide financial support to a guy dismantling the government. No, nobody bought it for that reason.
Exactly. So I would show grace, and I do show grace to someone who drives a Tesla. And we are vehemently opposed to anyone who thinks it's okay to vandalize Teslas. Just want to make that clear.
Every 20th, man, I'm about to cry. Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, we do need to talk about 82% of working women do this. Talk about it next. Gee and Ursula.
From groceries to home prices, the cost of living in Washington state keeps going up. Now, Olympia politicians are proposing the largest tax increases in state history. Don't be fooled. If taxes go up, we'll all pay even more. Washington needs lower costs, not higher taxes. Tell the politicians no by visiting www.affordablewashington.org. Paid for by the people for an affordable Washington. Top 5 contributors are Washington Alliance for a Competitive Economy, Microsoft, Moderna, T-Mobile, and Amazon.
Here in the Pacific Northwest, windows can be one of the best investments you can make to add value to your home. At Dunn Lumber, we have designated Marvin window specialists who have been trained by Marvin to best serve your needs. If you need help finding the right windows for your home, come by one of our 4 Dunn Lumber window showrooms or reach out to me personally, Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building success together.
Hey, it's Dave Ross with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD from Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Dr. Wagner is hosting a free stem cell webinar Thursday, April 24th to explain stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
And remind us which joints you've had the best success with.
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Dr. Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, so if you're in pain, join him Thursday, April 24th for the free stem cell webinar and learn all about this amazing procedure. Register now at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
This Easter, we invite you to share your egg-siding creations with us. Hartley Wilcox here. Submit your beautifully decorated Easter egg photos to our Wilcox Family Farms Facebook page and join the community in celebrating this joyous holiday. For over a century, our farm-fresh eggs have been a part of your cherished traditions. From our family to yours, we wish you a happy and colorful Easter filled with love, joy, and delicious Wilcox eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin. Muckleshoot. Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of their National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through April 20th. Stop by any of their participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
When we reach our golden years, it's natural to want to stay in our homes. We've worked hard for them, but as our minds and bodies age, the home can become an unsafe place where loneliness thrives. Amanda here for Care Partners Senior Living. Our communities offer safe living spaces and managed common areas with medical professionals on site and ready to help. We assist you with your mobility when needed, allowing you to socialize or participate in activities whenever you like. Care Partners Senior Living provides both privacy and socialization at your desired pace. You aren't living alone in our communities because help is always nearby. And believe it or not, community living can be more cost-effective than in-home care. With locations throughout Washington and Arizona, you'll find a Care Partners community near you. Care, it's in our name and what we do. Learn more at carepartnersliving.com.
With 30 communities, including Covington, Bremerton, Snohomish, and the grand opening of North Creek Bothell, there's quality senior care at an affordable price near you. Visit carepartnersliving.com. At the Harnish Auto family, people matter isn't just a saying, it's how they do business. For over 40 years, their dealerships, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Volkswagen, Subaru of Puyallup, plus Chevrolet and Kia of Everett, have built a stellar reputation on trust, respect, and great deals. From supporting local charities to making sure every customer drives away happy, they're here for you. Stop by any of their dealerships or visit HarnishAutoFamily.com and find your next car today. Harnish Auto Family, People matter.
Ladies, and you guys too, have you noticed visible signs of aging, those deep wrinkles, fine lines, and facial creases stealing your youthful glow? Sagging skin, crow's feet, and loss of facial contour are all natural effects of aging, but you no longer have to let them define your appearance. Introducing the New Skin Lift, the groundbreaking facelift led by Dr. Brian Scott. The advanced New Skin Lift addresses key signs of facial aging for women and men, restoring natural youthful contours. Whether it's replenishing volume lost over time or lifting the skin to smooth out those creases, the New Skin Lift can help you look 10 to 20 years younger with both surgical and non-surgical options. It's Hollywood's best-kept secret and now available to you. Get a free consultation and save $250 off your New Skin facelift. Schedule at newskinlift.com or 206-222-1225. Look 10 to 20 years younger and restore your youthful appearance with the New Skin facelift. newskinlift.com.
What's going on, everybody? It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Hey, coming up at 10 o'clock, guess who's coming in? There we go. We got Sully that's going to be coming into the show. That's going to happen. But right now, code switching. You know what that is? You know what code switching is if you're listening right now? Don't worry, I'm going to take you through it. Do you speak differently when you're at work? That's a code switch. A lot of us do. We speak differently. Some of us speak the same. Just depends on how comfortable you are with your job and where you at. There's a new study on how many women speak differently in the workplace, but a lot of us can relate. According to Pre-Ply, 82% of American women code switch at work. Ursula, 1 in 6 women have been told to change their tone or communication style at work. Nearly 2 in 5 women say they code switch at work to express competence. A third of women feel inauthentic when using their work voice instead of their real voice. Nearly 2/3 of women feel pressured to use a work voice. Women in higher positions at a company are less likely to code switch at work. What's your thoughts on this?
So a couple of things on this. And if I'm looking at my own experience, again, I have this unique experience of being in an industry that for the longest time was male-dominated. I'll say white male-dominated. And also was in a position of being in management where my biggest issue was I felt like I didn't have a voice. Mm-hmm. And again, a lot of things have changed, and the time when I was in management was a time when we were owned by a different company. So I want to make that clear. Mm-hmm. But when I looked at it makes me sad that there are women who don't believe that they can be their authentic self to be taken seriously. 1 in 6 women were told to change their communication style because they wanted to express, or 2 in 5 women, they had to code switch because they needed to express competence. Mm-hmm. So being themselves was not a way of expressing competence. Sometimes I think, especially women in management, mm-hmm. maybe not as much today because there are more women in management, but many women have felt like they have to overcompensate mm-hmm. to show strength. Yeah. Right. And then they get called, she's a horrible manager.
Right.
It's a harpy, and
yeah, exactly. She's the B word. Yep. When a guy would be told, oh, he has a commanding presence, kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. So, but I looked at some of these other things that they were saying, mm-hmm. and so some of the changes. Number 1 in ranking, use more slang. Number 2, use more sarcasm. 3, use more profanity. And 4, use more humor. I mean, I wish I could blame number 3 on work. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I like to blame it on chef because I have much more of a body mouth at work. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think it's sad that anyone has to change the way they talk.
Yeah.
But that's something that you know all too well.
You know, it's interesting. I want to share something. You know, we have now been doing this show, Ursula, 5.5 years. And I don't see today on the text line what I used to see when we first started. And some of you would text in and say some of that slang talk and that jive talk. And, you guys would text that, like from your real phone numbers. You would text in and like, oh, why does he talk that way and all that stuff? I get it. Sometimes you say things like that because you've never had maybe people that look and talk like me inside of your home. I get that. I do think that our show has, they know me now, so you're okay with me being myself. I don't code switch here. However, I do code switch in my other jobs. When I go auctioneer, when I go do a speaking engagement, when I go and do an appearance, I code switch then. When I'm going to these places where in the philanthropy world, and I'm there, the auctioneer, I speak. I don't talk that there the way that I talk here. Here, you guys are like family. I don't care if you like what I say or not. Out there, I'm code switching.
Yeah. I mean, there was one former manager who did tell you to bring the urban perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Could I mention something for the folks in my delegation that maybe think Gee's a little bit loud sometimes? Gee, I've told this when I first started working with you over at 710. I was like, yeah, I like Gee, but he's super loud, and sometimes does he really have to talk that way? If you've ever thought that, just consider in your mind, have you ever considered saying something like that to another male radio host? Because there are plenty of male radio hosts who are loud, who are opinionated, who get fired up and angry. Right. But I just don't see them get text messages like that.
My cousin O'Dolly, Christie's her government name, but O'Dolly, she's law enforcement in Chicago. She's a police officer. And every time I talk to her, I was talking to her last night, Ursula, I am reminded, here's something. What if I told you all that in my family, with all the cousins and aunties and uncles, when we're all together, what if I told you all that I'm probably the quietest one?
I've seen it for myself.
like if you were to come in my family, you would be like, wait, Gee, there's everybody is louder than me.
What if I told you I was one of the more quiet ones in my family?
We know honey.
Gee, I got a question though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is your your public personality though, not your speech, your way of speaking, is that in of itself a form of code switching?
Say that again?
Is your personality, your public personality, and you say you're very quiet at home, is that in of itself a form of code switching?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because most of the time at home, I'm quiet.
Yeah.
Like people always ask my wife, oh, how can you live with that Gee? He's nuts. No, when I'm not here on the air, I'm solo. I'm more of an introvert. All right, good stuff. Hey, Sully is coming in, Chris Sullivan, and guess what? He went down, talked to my main man, Perry Cooper, and there are some new changes happening at SCA. We discuss next. Gee Ursula.
Need a new roof, a deck, siding, windows? Get up to $3,000 off any new installation. Hi, it's Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Home projects can add up fast, but we're here to help you save big. Book now and lock in up to $3,000 off in savings. That's $3,000 off any new installation. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your free estimate today. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Are insurance companies taking you for a ride? Literally? Don't let them destroy your financial future. If you've been in a car crash, Just Cause Legal is your weapon against greedy insurers. They don't care about you, but Just Cause Legal does. Time is running out. Get the compensation you deserve. Call 253-859-8899 now or visit justcauselegal.com. Don't wait until it's too late. Take back control and fight for what's yours. Meet your legal lifesavers. Just Cause Legal, fighting for you.
Hi, this is Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Are you ready to enhance your home with stunning, energy-efficient windows and doors? At Pella, we offer top-quality products with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. And right now, we're offering an amazing deal. Enjoy 12 months with no interest and no payments, or get 40% off qualifying installs. My team is dedicated to helping you every step of the way. Visit PellaPNW.com to schedule your free appointment today. That's PellaPNW.com.
Hartley Wilcox here from Wilcox Family Farms. A question we get asked a lot this time of year is, how do the hens stay warm when it's so cold out? Of course, we have nice barns to protect them from the rain, wind, and snow. But also, their feathers are like a down jacket, and if they need additional warmth, they will often snuggle together. And for those very cold days, we have heaters to keep them comfortable and happily laying eggs. Wilcox is committed to organic, humane practices that keep our hens healthy and help preserve the land. When you choose food from local family farmers like Wilcox, you support the local economy with jobs and promote environmental sustainability, making it possible for our family to keep on producing great eggs for another 100 years. Pick up Wilcox eggs at Costco, Marlene's, and Hagen's. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat, pre-peeled, hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Thank you for making Total Wine & More America's #1 online source for spirits, beer, and wine. Better than all those delivery apps. Total Wine's prices are up to 30% lower with super fast delivery and no hidden fees. Order direct at TotalWine.com and pay less today.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Get 5 quarts of O'Reilly Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a MicroGuard oil filter for $29.99. In-store only. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You could think you found your dream home online. The kitchen island looks perfect for your inner chef. The backyard, a paradise for your green thumb. And that extra room, hello walk-in closet. But here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. And this sound, yeah, you're going to be hearing a lot of that. Don't let your dream home turn into a nightmare. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Trump just said moments ago he'll make a very good deal with China and insists there will also be a tariff deal with the European Union.
We're going to have very little problem making a deal with Europe or anybody else because we have something that everybody wants. You know what that means, right? We have something that everybody wants. We're going to have very little problem.
I'm Vicky Barker at the Foreign Desk in London. The European Central Bank has just cut interest rates to 2.25%, an attempt to shield European consumers and businesses from the financial shocks triggered by the Trump tariffs. ECB President Christine Lagarde declining to say what happens next.
We have to stand ready for the unpredictable.
Lagarde using the words uncertainty and incredulity to describe America's massive shift in trade policy and allies' attempts to absorb it. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
Reporter Jeff Gilbert has more on how tariffs are reverberating in the auto industry.
While Ford is offering employee pricing for all discounts until June, it's indicating that after that, vehicles could be more expensive. The Detroit News quoting a memo to dealers warning that pricing adjustments will be needed in the future. No specifics on what models could be affected.
At least 4 injuries are reported in a shooting on the Florida State University campus in Tallahassee. The fate of the shooter is not clear. Google says it will appeal a federal judge's ruling that says it wielded monopoly power in the online ad technology market. Our tech contributor, Ian Scher.
What happens next will be very interesting. The Justice Department has already asked the court to force Google to sell off some pieces of its ad technology, and thereby hopefully reducing its power.
Hearings on that could get underway next week. The Associated Press reports the Trump administration plans to eliminate the IRS Direct File program. It's the electronic filing system for filing returns directly to the agency for free. America's top diplomat is in France.
President Macron welcomed Secretary of State Marco Rubio and President Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff to Paris for the latest round of talks aimed at crafting a Ukraine ceasefire. A series of meetings included top officials from France, the UK, Germany and Ukraine. The Europeans are concerned at President Trump's continued overtures to Moscow, especially since none has borne fruit. Russia launched new deadly drone attacks on Dnipro overnight, killing 3. Elaine Cobb, CBS News, Paris.
Wall Street, the Dow is down 250 points. The S&P and NASDAQ trading higher. This is CBS News.
A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Progressive protects them both. It was an easy riddle. Learn more at Progressive.com.
A Tacoma shooting turns into a homicide investigation days later. That story coming up, but first from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. Watch out for road crews on State Route 18 westbound between Auburn and Maple Valley. There will be periodic lane closures there. An earlier stall has you still a bit slow on northbound I-5 near JBLM, but your travel time Olympia to Tacoma is coming down. It's 38 minutes right now. That's about 10 longer than typical. Other travel times are either on target or just a bit faster than usual. Everett to Seattle, 27 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 35. Renton to Bellevue, 26. Traffic brought to you by KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Sentencing is underway for a former Sumner High School basketball coach.
The jury found the defendant guilty of the crime of child molestation in the third degree as charged.
Jake Jackson was found guilty of sexually abusing 8 players. He's being sentenced this morning on 19 counts of sexual abuse against his players. Jackson coached for the Sumner High School between 2016 and 2022. A shooting in Tacoma on Saturday is now a homicide investigation. Police say an adult and a teenager was shot along Portland Avenue. The victims managed to get to a hospital, and the adult was in stable condition, but the teenager has now died days later from his injuries. No word on arrests. Linwood police are trying to find the man who grabbed a 10-year-old boy by the wrist as he rode his bicycle near the Linwood Golf Course Monday. Commander Joe Dickinson.
So we don't know if this was someone upset about somebody riding bikes on the trail or what. So, but there definitely was. What's concerning is this gentleman reaching out and grabbing a kid.
He and the other 2 boys he was out there riding with were able to get away from the man. We've put the suspect's description up at mynorthwest.com. SeaTac Airport and TSA officials say they realize they've moved the deadline for you to get your real ID driver's license a few times now.
But this time, it is happening, and airport officials are concerned about travelers that won't be ready. Here's TSA's Lori Dankers.
500,000 people are expected to come to the security checkpoint on May 7th and moving forward who are not ready for real ID enforcement.
Dankers recommends taking a look at the TSA website for a list of alternative identification documents. At SeaTac International, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Western Washington will be represented at the 2025 World Irish Dance Championship this week when a Gig Harbor teenager takes the floor. The Tacoma News Tribune captured the sound of 17-year-old Caden Shell's quick feet tapping the ground, his arms holding still at his side. The Gig Harbor teen received a near-perfect score in a qualifying round.
Being good at it makes me like it, and me liking it makes me try harder and get better.
He'll compete with his age group in Dublin Friday. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine today with highs in the mid-60s. It's 51 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Gee Ursula Show. Happy Thursday, April 17th. And Ursula, I'm going to go ahead and let everybody know. just Sully coming in to hang out with us is different now from here on out. Now, he has news to go over with you, no doubt. But before he leaves, I have a question for Sully.
And we need, Sully is our perennial palate cleanser.
Yes, he is.
Yes,
he is.
So-
Time waster.
No.
Beef cheeks.
Hey, coming up at 10:30, just real quick. Do you know that there are schools that are now teaching teenagers how to sleep? I would argue that we need classes on how adults should be sleeping. So we'll get into all of that coming up at 10:30. As always, we invite you to join us on our text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
What's new at 10?
Okay, so here on the Gee and Ursula Show, we are going to give you an insider secret about SeaTac Airport, and this could make your next airport adventure first class, at least until you get on the plane, I'm told. And Sully, give us the scoop.
Yeah, so there are going to be 11 more lanes, security lanes, at SeaTac Airport by Thanksgiving. So by about the holidays, they're going to add 11 new lanes.
Wow.
Some of them are get-backs because, they've closed the checkpoint up by Alaska while they're in the process of redoing that whole project. And that should be done, that whole project should be done prior to the World Cup, but that checkpoint will open later this year. But I'll get into that. So right now, as of this morning, if you go to the airport, you will notice that all of the security gates and security checkpoints have been renumbered. There are now 6 gates. There used to only be 5, but as of this morning, there are 6. Only 4 of them are in operation, though, and we'll go over the construction. But so now they've added a brand new one, and it's on the lower level. It's on baggage claim level. If you remember, if you've been to the airport or you've flown internationally, come in internationally, you came in the south end, and there was that baggage claim on that low level just right there, kind of where the south terminal ends. Well, they've gotten rid of that baggage claim, and they have put a new TSA checkpoint right there, and it's on the lower level because that's really the only space they could find it. So now when that opens in mid-June or early June here in a couple weeks, that will be checkpoint 1. The checkpoint 1 yesterday was up 1 floor at the end of all the check-in gates, and then it'll go 1 through 6 from south to north, and the old checkpoint 5 that we all usually went through from Alaska, that will become checkpoint 6. So the signage is all that's changed today, but this will mean 5 new lanes on that lower level for security. And what's cool is it takes you in and under the terminal, and you pop out like in the mezzanine level of the escalators and stairs you would take down to get to the trains. And so you'll go through there, and then you'll get a decision to make. Do I pop up to Concourse A, or do I continue down to the trains and continue on? So it kind of gets those people out of the mix a little bit. Maybe we'll make all the checkpoints a little bit more efficient. And again, that opens in June, and it's it's that they're
and
at
is
the
this
very
just only for the time of construction, or this is going to be we're always going to have?
No,
that
this is always going forward. As soon as Alaska opens, that's the checkpoint 6 opens by the holidays before Thanksgiving, and then when this one opens in June, that's 11 more lanes to go with. So they're going to go from 28 to 39 lanes for security, and you should be able to use all of them for pre or clear or regular or whatever. Spot savers are going to move around the same general locations as well, but adding just whatever capacity they can to get people in and out.
Do they have an amount of time that they say you should be able to get through security through this amount of time?
Well,
what's the goal?
Well, the goal is to get you through in 30 minutes or less. And right now, and I know, Gee, you're going to dispute these stats like crazy.
No, I'm laughing because Ursula keeps pointing at me to go next, and then she asks another question. I'm just like, okay. You next. Oh, by the way, Sully. You next.
Go ahead.
By the way, Sully.
Go ahead. My mouth is zipped.
I mean, Sully, planes, trains, and automobile, that is your expertise. You were there. At SCA yesterday. You were there talking to Perry Cooper. I hear everything you said, but we want to hear your opinion. Is there a light at the end of the tunnel?
Yeah, definitely.
Because some of us have been really frustrated about SCA. Tell us about that. Well, tell us to feel. I know what they say. I don't care what they say. I want to know what you felt when you were there.
Well, I felt like any time you can add more lanes to security and have them open, that just gives you more opportunities. And I think that will help. Once they finish all that construction up there at the Alaska area, because most of us probably fly Alaska or we're flying around regionally, others, whatever, that's a popular one. That will really help. Plus, you can check in on that mezzanine level and go straight up. You don't have to go to the gates. That will be helpful. But again, some of that is still a year away. But getting the security gates open and adding more capacity, that's a good thing. I mean, that's a really good thing. And what they're hoping is that, even though it's a walk, there are a lot of times where Holly and I will use Spot Saver and choose the one at checkpoint 1, which is now checkpoint 2. We'll worry about that later. Because it's on the far south end, because no one wants to walk all that way and then walk all the way back to their gates.
Right.
But we've gone in there, even through regular, and it's like 5 minutes through TSA, the further south you go. So with this one open on the lower level, that maybe if you're United or some of the Delta, you're midway down the terminal, maybe walk a little bit and get down to that, 1 and 2, get through there. That takes a few more people out on the north end, and that should help redistribute a little bit. Again, it's going to be hard. If you got a whole family of 5 and you're like, hey, kids, let's walk an extra quarter mile this way to get you through TSA, and then we have a half-mile walk the other direction. Yeah. Okay, I get it. But this is a great little sneaky way. Further south you go. And it works for parking, too. If you're ever looking for parking, you go to the top deck and go all the way to the south, and you'll always find a parking spot at the garage, generally, go in that direction. So I see a light. And what's also cool is they'll get rid of the construction in the middle where they're building all, that 4-story high-rise in the middle of the airport, so they'll get a lot of the dust out of the way there. Yeah. That'll offer some new amenities. Thing I'm really looking forward to, and I know people with younger children love this. If you're trying to find ways to waste time and you don't want to sit in the sports bar or you're just sitting there scrolling your phone, they're going to have a 360 view of the airfield. So it'll be a good place to get up there and kind of plane watch, to watch takeoff and land. So that'll make a big difference. But the problem is it's such a small footprint. There's just nowhere else to go. And I think it's pretty creative that they use this lower level to find this new checkpoint, and hopefully it'll work. And again, we'll see. It'll start right before the summer season, right before they think school gets out in mid-June for that checkpoint 1 down below. So it should be pretty cool.
Well, we probably don't have time for the question of the day.
Yeah,
we do?
Of course.
All right.
I can take up all the time you want. It's just your show.
Oh, okay. Well, before we go, Sully, success. What's more important, luck or hard work when it comes to success?
I believe hard work, but in order to reach that ultimate success, in a lot of ways, you do have to have some luck. And I believe that you can make your own luck with your hard work. Because, opportunities show up the harder you work. And so as I think, what is it? Don't cheat the grind. I think is one of your friends used to say. But no, I think it takes hard work. Hard work gets you on a better path to maybe find the luck along the way. But certainly it doesn't hurt if you're born to a really, 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 really wealthy family, and there's some things in life like that. But no, I will always go with hard work and make your own luck by showing out. That's how I got hired by Ursula. It was luck that she heard me.
I'm keeping my mouth shut until the end of the segment.
But find your own luck. Find your own luck by working hard.
That's a great answer.
That is a great answer. Before you go, Ursula, Janice in Federal Way makes the best point. They have really got to move Alaska Airlines.
Away from the front?
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Not in a good spot.
Just put it at the end. Like the bottleneck that happens is because Alaska is right there.
To drop off and pick up service. Yeah, they're all right there. Then
come on.
That's why when we're picking up people, we always go, we'll meet you at Delta. Or we'll meet you to just walk a little bit and get around that. But unfortunately, they've put all their eggs in that basket, and with this renovation, that's where it's going to stay.
Yeah. Okay, just real quick. On May 7th, you need the Real ID to pass security screenings. Yep, Real ID.
I haven't heard about this.
Now, TSA says about 20% still don't have it.
Still don't have, and that includes a government ID or a passport or whatever.
I have a passport. I don't have Real ID. My husband just found that out.
A passport counts.
I know, it
but
does,
our
which is why I'm not
enhanced
worried.
driver's license is what you can use in lieu of a passport. Say you don't have that or a government ID. Yeah, the Real ID Act passed in 2005. Coming out of the terrorist attacks of 9/11. That's how long this has been.
20 years. So they're really serious now.
It gets delayed. This time, they're not fooling around. Yeah, you have the potential, if you have a flight on May 7th to go up through the TSA checkpoint, show a Washington driver's license, and be turned away. You have that possibility. It's more likely you will be sent aside for extra screening before they allow you to move through. But even if, say, 1%, half of 1% of the people who show up during that morning rush to catch flights, that's 1,000 people. Where are they going to put those people and hold them in queue while they give them extra security? Where's that going to go, and how long is that going to take you, and will you miss your flight?
Yeah, they don't want you to go there.
No.
Which is why
they want you to get you. I mean, and it's almost too late to get it.
If you don't have a passport, get it.
No, right. You may be easier to get a passport right now than it is to get an enhanced driver's license in Washington.
It's that hard? Wait a minute. Now that's a
sweeping statement?
Well, no, that's a statement that would probably turn off a lot of people.
Well, because what I'm saying is people are going for the enhanced driver's license so much right now that the appointments to get that are out a month and a half, 2 months at DOL.
Okay.
And if you walk in, it could take you 5 hours to sit there and wait unless you have an appointment, unless you're the first person there.
Okay.
So if you're still waiting and trying to get to maybe a lesser used, not along the I-5 corridor, Department of Licensing, be the first one in the door and get your name on that list, and you better have all the proper documents so you don't want to be turned away.
I'm going to try to do it next week.
Yeah, see what it's like.
And I'll share,
but I don't want
share
you
with you.
I don't want you to go in as a walk-in, Ursula, because that'll take you forever.
Now set the appointment
Yeah,
now.
I'm going to set the appointment.
Well, if you can get one.
Yeah. I'll tell you. I'll go through the whole process.
By the way, I heard West Seattle is usually not as busy as others.
Great.
So is Redmond. And if you want to go down to, I know how much you love the Long Beach Peninsula.
Yes.
The Owaka Department of Licensing is never busy.
Okay, there you go.
That we get from our longtime listener,
Sully,
Paul.
thank you.
Shout out Lewis County. That's where I go to. I go down to Lewis County for everything. Passport needs, all that. It's super fast.
You can hang out and say, well, you're just going there to go to the outlet mall because I know that's where you do all your shopping. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's me.
No,
That's me. Sorry.
No. Sully, thank you.
Yeah, pleasure.
Okay. I want to end on a positive. I was going to ask whether, just to continue on the whole flying thing, and I was going to ask the question, should undocumented immigrants be allowed to fly?
No, ask it.
Okay. Should they?
Yes. And here's why. If undocumented immigrants aren't allowed to fly, then let's stop making undocumented immigrants pay into Social Security and not get it. Let's not have it both ways. Let's not have them pay into Social Security and then be like, oh, by the way, you can't fly. Yes, undocumented immigrants should be able to fly. And here's my question.
So right now, though, the next question would be, should undocumented immigrants be allowed to get driver's licenses? In the state of Washington, you can get a driver's license. You're not required to show a Social Security number. So if you have a driver's license, then is that enough to be able to get you a real ID? Do you have to prove your Social Security number, et cetera? I mean, and that's the whole point.
You can't get real ID. You know what I mean?
That's just it. So here's the question that I have is, would an immigration attorney tell you, if you are undocumented, that you should try flying in this environment right now?
I don't.
And the answer is no.
Yeah.
Generally, no.
Well, real quick, sometimes I answer these questions. Now I'm going to ask you, do you think that undocumented immigrants should be able to fly?
I think the reality is that there are a lot of undocumented immigrants. Okay, let me just answer this. There are a lot of undocumented immigrants that you don't realize are such critical parts of our economy. And for their own benefit, I would say they should not fly right now. But should they have the ability to fly? Yes. They also should have the ability to have some kind of pathway to legal citizenship. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, my fear is a lot's going to change with all of this emphasis on real ID, which many argue is the whole point of it. Hey, I need to end with something positive in this segment. Do you mind? Because this is something that you actually shared.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you feel right now that your voice doesn't matter, things are out of control, or you don't have the ability to make change, which is a lot of what we see on our text line as we talk about a lot of the stories, you shared this clip from former President Barack Obama.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to just share it again.
I fly down to South Carolina. Alarm goes off, and I feel terrible. I am exhausted. Think I'm coming down with a cold. I open up the curtains. It's pouring down rain outside. Pouring down rain. Horrible day. I get the newspaper outside my door, and there's a bad story about me in the New York Times. I get dressed, shave, walk out. My umbrella blows open. That ever happened to you? And I get soaked. I'm just soaked. I get in the car. I say, all right, how long is it going to take to Greenwood? An hour and a half. Finally, I get out and I walk in, and there are like 15, 20 people there. And I will tell you, they didn't look any happier to see me than I did to see them. And so I go around the room and I say, how do you do? What do you do? But they're not really feeling it right now. And suddenly I hear this voice from the back just shout, fired up. And everybody in the room says, fired up. And then I hear the voice say, ready to go. And everybody in the room says, ready to go. And I don't know what's going on. I think these people are crazy. Maybe I shouldn't have come here. And then I look in the back of the room, and there's this middle-aged woman. She's got a big church hat, and she got, I think, a gold tooth. Turns out she holds a position in the local NAACP office, and also, I'm not kidding you, is a private detective. This is a true story. She's like she's like a private eye. Although it's hard to think that you wouldn't see her coming. She's very colorful. And she is known wherever she goes by saying this chant, fired up, ready to go. And every meeting she goes to, she does this thing. But the interesting thing is, after a while, I'm starting to get kind of fired up. I'm starting to feel like I'm ready to go. And all those negative thoughts and all those bad memories start kind of drifting away. And it just goes to show you how one voice can change a room. And if it can change a room, it can change a city. And if it can change a city, it can change a state. And if it can change a state, it can change a nation. And if it can change a nation, it can change the world. So I just have one question for you. Are you fired up? Ready to go? Fired up? Ready to go?
And just as you sent that yesterday, it was a message that I needed because there are days just dragging.
Right.
And so, I mean, that we had to go to the archives. What, that was 2011?
Yeah.
But good message.
Barack Obama then and Barack Obama today, and always will, draw out the insecurity of some men and women. Coming up next in the Gee and Ursula Show, some schools are teaching teens to do something. We'll discuss that next. Gee and Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
With everything going on these days, it's more important than ever to buy your new car from a dealership you trust. For me, that's Carter Subaru. This is Ursula Reutin. At Carter Subaru, your drive begins with savings. Now get the 2025 Crosstrek with 3.9% APR for 48 months. Shop with the Carter Subaru Advantage and enjoy valet parking at their Ballard dealership and at-home delivery across all locations.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 4/30/25.
Announcing the Million Hour Volunteer Rally. Donate your time to local food banks or host a food drive. You can win groceries for a year and a $5,000 donation. Visit albertsons.com/volunteer to learn more.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s. And less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s. And less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
This week at Jazz Alley, join Madeline Peru on her Let's Walk tour, April 17th through 20th. With her honeyed voice and mix of jazz, folk, and pop, Madeline's music is a journey for the soul. Get your tickets at jazzalley.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Washington businesses say President Trump's tariffs are hitting their bottom line. Seattle-based Swaddle Designs makes safe sleep baby products that are manufactured and shipped from China. COO Jeff Demir says given the tariffs,
we have a container that's right now sitting in China. That container would cost us $300,000 of extra tariffs, given the 145%.
Seattle-based Molly Moons makes its ice cream from local ingredients, but CEO Molly Neitzel says,
what I didn't think about until my CFO came to me is
spoons.
Importing them will cost $240,000. She says that's half their profits. President Trump says his tariffs will boost manufacturing in the U.S. and give the U.S. leverage to reduce tariffs that other countries place on American products. But the tariffs have also sparked a warning from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell that sent stocks tumbling yesterday. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
He is a very data-driven person, and yesterday we heard him say we are actually starting to see slowing economic growth show up in the data. And so it's no longer we're going to have to wait and see how consumer sentiment impacts that. He actually fully admitted that we are seeing a little bit of a slowdown, even though the economic fundamentals remain stable, I would say.
Today, Trump posted on Truth Social, Powell's termination cannot come fast enough. Scientists are sounding alarms as the Trump administration looks at ending the FDA's routine food inspections as part of government downsizing. Dr. Peter Lurie.
Well, I think the immediate fear on the inspection side is that some food poisoning outbreak will occur that would otherwise have been prevented. And then we could have, many people getting infected completely unnecessarily.
To state politics, where lawmakers are looking at shifting money around.
It's not a tax increase, but a reroute of sales taxes instead of gas tax money to better fund green transportation efforts, says its sponsor, Democratic Senator Marco Elias.
The transportation budget has long-term sustainability as we shift a portion of the state sales tax. This demonstrates the way that the people of Washington work.
Critics like Northwest Progressive Institute Director Andrew Villeneuve worry this kind of tax shuffling could hurt schools down the line.
So we're allocating future money that could be going to our schools, colleges, and universities and putting those dollars into transportation instead. Our team doesn't think that makes sense.
The sales tax switcheroo is in addition to proposals to increase the state gas tax by 6 or 9 cents a gallon. Matt Markovich, KIRO News Radio.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 385 points, NASDAQ off about 7. From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, watch out for road crews on State Route 18 westbound between Auburn and Maple Valley. There will be periodic lane closures there today. An earlier stall has you still a little bit slow on northbound I-5 near JBLM, but your travel time, Olympia to Tacoma, is nearly back to normal. It's 34 minutes long right now, 5 minutes longer than typical. Other travel times are either on target or just a bit faster than usual. Everett to Seattle, 30 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 28. Renton to Bellevue, 23. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine today with highs in the mid-60s. It's 55 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday to all of you. Another Chamber of Commerce kind of day today. It's going to be beautiful again tomorrow. That just makes me so happy. But hey, if you have kids at home, teens in particular, how much sleep are they getting? And if your kid is sleep deprived, should they be learning about proper sleep hygiene in school? So the Associated Press is reporting that there are some high schools that are actually teaching teens literally how to sleep. And they're actually seeing some success with these classes. So first question is, should this be something that's taught in schools?
Heck yeah. And Ursula needs to go join them.
This is true. This is true. Had I had this kind of class in high school, I might be better off today. Sleep is such an issue.
I know you guys think I'm not just doing this for the show. I'm saying right now, I believe that we Gen X and baby boomers, we used to sleep before. We know what life is like before
social media.
Before social media, not just social media. We lived in a time where, do you guys remember when the TV used to shut off, y'all?
Yeah,
remember
with the bars?
Remember the bars?
The fuzz? Yeah, yes.
So we all know about going to sleep after that.
Yes.
Right? Now today, some of these kids and young men and women and people, they don't know. They doom scroll. They go to sleep doom scrolling. So I believe a class is needed, Ursula.
Yes, studies show that teens are more sleep deprived than ever, and experts believe it could be playing a role in the mental health crisis that so many teens are dealing with today, including depression and anxiety, and also some other behavioral issues that are affecting attendance issues. At schools, which is why some schools have taken it upon themselves to actually teach these classes. So some of the things that they show is that adolescents need between 8 and 10 hours of sleep each night for their developing brains and bodies. But according to the CDC, nearly 80% of teens get less than that. Most teens average 6 hours of sleep a day. How many hours do you average on a night?
Your boy go to sleep about 9:15-ish, and I get up every day around 4:45. So I don't know.
About 7. You're close to 8.
Count for me. Is that close to 8?
It's closer to 7.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am lucky if I get 5. And I know that's awful, and I end up getting naps. You're laughing, but it's because I have horrible sleep hygiene. And you know what that is?
What?
That's taking away the electronics, making sure you're not looking at a screen within an hour of the time you go to sleep, making your bedroom the place where you sleep only. Just if there's too much activity in your bedroom, that's gonna, you don't associate it with sleeping. If you end up eating too late, going out, I mean, every night I feel like I'm going.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up because now I can say what I want to say. Okay. Let's talk about Ursula's life. And the truth of the matter is so for an example, lately the weather has been nice, right?
My gosh.
So there's a lot of people like that. People have been hitting me up like, hey, G, come out. To which I say, I have to stay on my schedule. I know I sound like I get on the show, you guys think I'm erratic. It's actually, Ursula will tell you all, I'm a very structured person. I do the same thing, almost eat the same thing every day. Ursula, on the other hand, you are everywhere, Ursula. Everywhere.
I'm not gonna because I told myself that after years of focusing on others, I was going to focus on myself.
Are you focusing on yourself?
It's coming to my own detriment.
Where'd you go last night?
I had dinner with a friend, and I have a happy hour with another friend today.
I mean, this week,
but I'm not complaining.
Have you been out every week, every day this week?
Pretty much, yes. That said,
yeah.
That what I need to be is more disciplined about why do I have to stay up to 11 o'clock at night, or actually 11:30
because your
and watch the
adrenaline is
news.
still going. You were just out,
and then doing the. I went to the Paramount Theater during intermission. I was trying to do show prep, and then I get home but again, let's talk about the teens because I didn't want this to be about my sleep. I recognize that I have got to dramatically change that because a lack of sleep, is contributing to so many other health issues for everybody. And I have to understand that that's for myself as well.
So you want to talk about the teens? Forget the kids.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are the things that you can do? Here's the thing, though. This district, is it in Ohio, actually, that has this Sleep to Be a Better You class. And they've actually seen that when a student misses more than 10% of the school year, they use this curriculum. And then the rate of students missing that much class has decreased from 44% in 2021 to at least 32%. So they're seeing improvement. But I just remember, unfortunately, one of my kids did inherit my lack of sleep hygiene. Mm-hmm. And again, that's a term that sleep doctors use, by the way. It doesn't mean you're dirty. It just means, things that that you can do to get a good night's rest.
Right.
And I remember in high school, and I thought, oh, man, that I got a note from a teacher once who said, poor Eric, oops. I said which son it was. He's asleep in class. And she didn't want to wake him up. I'm like, yeah, no, you can wake him up. He's better now.
Yeah. So when I was going to school, if you fell asleep in class, that contributed, you could get demerits.
Oh, sure.
Right? And so when you get those demerits, if you get 30 or more demerits, that's F conduct. And if you have F conduct on the weekend during free time, you have to march out with a rifle.
Oh my word.
So guess who didn't used to fall asleep in class?
See, I'm curious though, because you are a social media hound, maybe even more than me.
Yeah.
But you put it away. When do you stop scrolling?
When I'm
use it to try to...
I'm asleep.
Because it's one of the last things I do, and I know that's extending.
But I got one more thing to say. This is going to feel good to say.
Okay.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. And of the two of us, Ursula lives a more exciting life than me. Like, think about that for a second. She lives a more exciting life than me.
Now.
A lot of you all think, oh, I bet you G is out and about. Yeah. I am the most boring person in the world. The only time I'm exciting is from 9 to 12.
That's not true.
Yeah, it kind of is. Here we go. We're going to do scenarios next. Gee Ursula.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
This Easter, we invite you to share your egg-siding creations with us. Hartley Wilcox here. Submit your beautifully decorated Easter egg photos to our Wilcox Family Farms Facebook page and join the community in celebrating this joyous holiday. For over a century, our farm-fresh eggs have been a part of your cherished traditions. From our family to yours, we wish you a happy and colorful Easter filled with love, joy, and delicious Wilcox eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Hi, this is Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Are you ready to enhance your home with stunning, energy-efficient windows and doors? At Pella, we offer top-quality products with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. And right now, we're offering an amazing deal. Enjoy 12 months with no interest and no payments, or get 40% off qualifying installs. My team is dedicated to helping you every step of the way. Visit PellaPNW.com to schedule your free appointment today. That's PellaPNW.com.
Hey, it's me, the foul pole at T-Mobile Park. But it's about time they call me the fair pole, because those are the moments I live for. When Cal's up to the plate, I'm always on high alert.
The big dumper with a 2-run blast.
And then there's Randy Arozarena, launching missiles into the stands, flipping his bat so high it practically reaches my eye level.
Blasted back, Randy Arozarena strikes again.
And J-Rod, heck, when he connects, he makes the whole building shake.
And it's gone. Goodbye, baseball. Julio Rodriguez.
So come on down and take a seat beside me. You might even go home with a souvenir. Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
The Mariners are back in town starting April 25th, and you won't want to miss 2 great giveaways. City Connect Captain's Hat Friday the 25th and Moose Shoulder Plush Night Saturday the 26th. Plus, score value game seats as low as $10 April 29th and 30th. Go to mariners.com to get your tickets and check out everything on deck.
I've always been a super athletic guy, but after I turned 40, I noticed I was slowing down. Instead of hitting the gym after work, I spent my evenings on the couch with a bag of chips. I was gaining weight, losing muscle, and when I did try to work out, I ran out of energy right away. One of my buddies suggested I book a free testosterone check at Revive Health, and that's when I learned that low T doesn't just impact how guys perform in the bedroom. I worked with a provider to create my custom treatment plan, and today I'm feeling stronger than ever. Last week, I even set a new PR at the gym. My only regret is not reaching out sooner.
If you're ready to book your free T-check, visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com or call 206-529-1111. Again, that's 206-529-1111.
Hey, it's Dave Ross with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD from Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Dr. Wagner is hosting a free stem cell webinar Thursday, April 24th to explain stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
And remind us which joints you've had the best success with.
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Dr. Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, so if you're in pain, join him Thursday, April 24th for the free stem cell webinar and learn all about this amazing procedure. Register now at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Upgrade now with incredible savings on ultra-efficient heat pumps. Get up to $6,000 in rebates, plus save 10% on heat pumps through April. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
In the market for a new car, Carter Subaru has the vehicle you've been searching for with over 300 new ones in stock, including the 2025 Outback now with 2.9% financing for 36 months, or go electric with the 2025 Solterra EV, 0% APR for 72 months on approved credit. Shop with the Carter Subaru Advantage and enjoy valet parking at their Ballard dealership and at-home delivery across all locations.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 4/30/25.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Hey, you know what, Ursula? I just want to say thank you for playing that Barack Obama sound, because it really did put me at peace. I know. I mean, it got some.
It's a good reminder.
It got some of you guys fired up. But I'm just saying, for me,
a few.
It got, and a lot of you, it
fired up
peace.
in a good way. The
Ready to
vast
go.
majority. Ready to go.
Fired up, ready to go.
I love that.
You know what I hope, Ursula?
What's that?
I hope that I'm able to motivate you in that way. You know what I mean? Like, you come in and you just hear my voice. I get to do that.
Yes.
All right.
On many days.
Let's get the scenarios. What we got? All right. My guy and I have been...
You were so into what you were saying that you forgot you're in charge of scenarios.
Yeah, sure. My guy and I have been struggling financially. It's starting to get to me, and I finally snapped. I went off on one of my social media accounts recently about our situation. I'll admit that was a big mistake. An old boyfriend messaged me and said he wanted to help. He's doing well financially and wants to give me $10,000 with no strings attached. He said it was a gift and there was no obligation or expectation. He said sometime in the future, he hoped we could pay it forward. I knew he had money, but he wasn't always genuine. And I don't believe that money ever comes without strings. So I told my husband and expected him to shut it down. I was shocked when he asked me why I didn't take it before the dude changed his mind. So I told him I suspected another motive, and my husband said, "So what's wrong with that?" Now I'm thinking this could be a mess. We do need the money, and if I turn it down, my husband is going to be furious. He's already counting on it. Isn't he even a bit jealous? What in the world should I do? 888-973-5476 is the text line. Ursula, you have to bat first.
I know there's some kind of saying that I'm butchering right now, but I think she played with fire and got burned because she put it out there on social media. You know she put it out there with the very intention of exactly what happened, which was to have somebody. She says that she didn't know. She knew he was wealthy, well off, but putting it out there and then getting this response, and instead of making her husband jealous or upset like she was hoping, he's
bingo
using almost like reverse psychology and saying, "Hey, how come you didn't do it? I don't care. How come you didn't do it? I would never take that money. I've got magic beans for you." I would Nick, what does the ex have and you can say, he's doing it as
$10,000.
Yeah, exactly. He has $10,000, but what's in it for him? For him to say, no strings attached, here you go, $10,000 out of the
Power.
Bingo.
Power.
Exactly.
Is to power.
Exactly.
I'm going to tell you
it's like
something.
putting it in your face. I would not touch that money.
Sure.
At all.
Sure. And you're not in a financial situation. You ain't desperate.
Even if I was desperate, and I have been.
Yeah, I believe
it's been a while, but I have been in desperate situations where my pride, if anything else, my pride would get in the way.
I tell you what, anybody that takes their financial situation to Facebook to tell the world me and my boo are struggling, 99% of the time they're going to take that $10,000 money. And oh, by the way, what is in it for him? That is the ultimate I'm the boss trump card. Hey, tell your husband, here's your little funky little $10,000. No word about it. No strings attached. Take that.
Exactly. He's getting the last word.
Yeah.
You can't provide for your lady?
Yeah.
You can take this. This is nothing off my shoulder. Just have it. Y'all deserve each other, though. I mean, this sounds like Indecent Proposal, right? Remember that movie? Guy flies.
Oh, yeah.
Demi Moore?
Yeah.
I do.
Yep. It flies to Vegas. Just, $1 million for one night. What's the big deal? It's like the exact equivalent of that, but doing it publicly on social media to own your husband. And the fact that he doesn't care, and you care so much about the money situation, I don't think you have a good relationship. Because no sane husband would say yes to that.
Ursula, there used to be a time in my life. I'll say this.
You edited yourself.
I
Keep
did.
going.
I had to edit myself. First, sometimes when you have a significant other, usually your significant other knows what to say to you to get under your skin. They know the things to say that would just stick a dagger in you. Now, if that same thing that they said was said by someone else, it wouldn't hurt as much. Ursula, there's two things in my life that have always stuck with me. One was said by my mama, and the other one was said by significant others. The first one was, you'll never amount to be anything in life. That one stayed with me. And you want to know what the other one was? You're broke. You have no money. And those two things in my life have seriously been the fuel to my fire.
I was going to say, those are powerful motivators. Either they're going to crush you or they're going to be motivation.
Now, here's the thing. So I always thought that if I were to ever become successful, those two things, I'll be able to come back and I'd feel really good to be like, ha, how you like me now? I tell you that the feeling that I thought I was going to have
never materialized.
Ooh. It never feels good. You still are holding on to those things, and you never,
hurtful words.
Right? Like you would think that the people that called you broke at one time, that you know that they're broke now, you would think that kind of would feel good. It doesn't. So that goes for anybody that's trying to do something to try to prove other people right. I'm giving you some experience to let you know it never feels as good as you think it's going to feel.
But you still prove them wrong.
Sure, but I never got the satisfaction in the feeling. So good stuff, Ursula. I think we all agreed on that scenario, didn't we?
We did.
I know, we got to stop agreeing. Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, guess what this Sunday is? It's 420 here. Just want to let you guys know that. So we'll be talking we're not. We're going to be talking about Easter this Sunday next. Gee and Ursula.
Whether you're shaping up a small yard or tackling serious acreage, Steel walk-behind zero-turn and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow. Available at participating dealers.
At Progressive, we're making things even easier. We'll help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Attention, community heroes. We got a mission to improve food security 1 hour at a time. Please join me, Safeway and Albertsons, by participating in the Nourishing Neighbors Million Hour Volunteer Rally to improve food security by donating your time and skills. We've set a goal of 1 million volunteer hours by caring people like you. Support your local food banks by volunteering to host a food drive or fundraiser so they can better serve your community in need. Safeway and Albertsons have made it easy to learn how and where you can help at their website. On top of that, you could potentially win free groceries for a year and a $5,000 donation to your hunger relief agency of choice. To learn more, find volunteer opportunities, and log your hours, visit albertsons.com/volunteer. Just a bit of time by a lot of great people gets us closer to creating food-secure communities 1 hour at a time. Visit albertsons.com/volunteer.
Steel walk behind, zero turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Hi, it's John Curley. Longevity Medical Clinic has been helping people live longer, healthier lives for more than 25 years. I've recently talked with Dr. Mixon about his approach to proactively focusing on prevention. Dr. Mixon, I first met you in 2009, and I went in there and I told you I wasn't feeling well, couldn't gain any muscle mass, couldn't sleep well, I was stressed out, and you looked at me and you said, yeah, I know what your problem is.
And all we did was we measured your values and we moved your values back to those of a nice, healthy 25-year-old man.
I have taken your blood work to my doctor, and he was shocked. He couldn't believe the depth in which you study my blood.
We need to draw a distinction between living a long time and getting old. And that's what longevity is all about, is we are here to do the measurements and help you fix those problems.
So get your free health analysis. Go to longevitymedicalclinic.com. That's longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Linda Kenyon. A suspect is in custody after a shooting at Florida State University in Tallahassee. That shooting took place at the Student Union building. And while authorities advised students to shelter in place, hundreds streamed off campus, including Ava Arenado.
One of my other classmates spoke up and said that she would rather go home
And so we all just kind of ran to our cars.
CBS's Scott McFarland follows up with more details.
Near that Student Union building, which is a particularly busy and vibrant part of that Florida State campus. As somebody who's been on campus, the lunch hour is rush hour near the Student Union building. Our CBS News reporting is that multiple people have been brought to Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare Hospital nearby. A spokesperson at the hospital didn't give us a sense of the extent of the injuries, but we know there are multiple people brought there.
The suspect is said to be among the injured. President Trump says he's in no rush to reach any trade deals because of the revenues his tariffs are generating so far. But during a meeting with Italy's prime minister at the White House today, he also suggested it would be easy to reach agreement with the European Union.
Oh, there'll be a trade deal, 100%. Of course there'll be a trade deal, very much. They want to make one very much, and we're going to make a trade deal. I fully expect it, but it'll be a fair deal.
In a sign of the economic shockwave set off by President Trump's tariffs, the European Central Bank has just cut interest rates. CBS's Vicky Barker reports from the foreign desk in London.
ECB President Christine Lagarde using the words uncertainty and incredulity to describe America's massive shift in trade policy and allies' attempts to absorb it. Asked if we've passed peak uncertainty.
I don't know whether we are at peak.
Suggesting policymakers worldwide now have to be nimble and responding to the latest financial shocks from Washington. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
A federal judge has ruled Google is an online advertising monopoly. With more on the decision in this landmark case, here's CBS tech contributor Ian Scherr.
This is the second time in a year that a judge has found Google to be a monopolist. Another federal judge last summer found that Google was running a monopoly on online search.
A judge in Los Angeles will soon be deciding whether to delay resentencing in the case of Eric and Lyle Menendez, who were convicted for the 1989 murders of their parents. CBS's Carter Evans is following.
He's saying, look, even as recently as that Netflix documentary, you had the brothers saying that, hey, that night we thought our parents were going to kill us, and so we killed them in self-defense.
The hearing is expected to last about 2 days. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
A former high school basketball coach convicted of sex crimes is back in court. Details coming up, but first from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. You have a couple teams of road crews out today. Near Enumclaw, a striping crew was on State Route 410 between White River Bridge and Grass Mountain. And on State Route 18 westbound between Auburn and Maple Valley, there will be periodic lane closures for road work. I'm not seeing a significant delay from either of those operations just yet. And overall, your travel times are pretty good. Everett to Seattle, 28 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 29. Renton to Bellevue, 24. Traffic brought to you by Beacon Plumbing. For all your heating, electrical, septic, and mechanical needs, stop, freaking call Beacon.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A former Sumner High School basketball coach found guilty of sexually abusing 8 players is set to be sentenced this morning. When Jake Jackson was convicted in January, one of his victims, Jackson Cumming, told KIRO 7 TV.
It just feels like a weight lifted off my shoulders. Feels like I can start to take one step at a time forward and start moving on with my life.
Jackson coached for the Sumner High School Spartans between 2016 and 2022. He was found guilty on 19 counts of sexual abuse. A shooting in Tacoma Saturday is now a homicide investigation. Police say an adult and a teenager were shot along Portland Avenue. The victims managed to get to a hospital. The adult was in stable condition, but the teenager has now died from his injuries. No word on arrests. Police are trying to find the man who grabbed a 10-year-old boy by the wrist as the child rode his bicycle near the Linwood Golf Course on Monday. Commander Joe Dixon.
So we don't know if this was someone upset about somebody riding bikes on the trail or what. So, but there definitely was. What's concerning is this gentleman reaching out and grabbing a kid.
The child and the other 2 boys he was with were able to get away from that man. No one was injured. We have a description of the suspect for you at mynorthwest.com. Well, when you hit that button at a crosswalk, you expect to hear,
"What sign is on?"
But at some crosswalks in Seattle, people heard Jeff Bezos.
This crosswalk is sponsored by Amazon Prime with an important message. Please
please don't tax the rich. Otherwise, all the other billionaires will move to Florida, too.
That sound shared on Reddit. The city says crosswalks at 6 intersections had been hacked and are now fixed. A similar hack happened in Northern California, where crosswalk devices spouted fake Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk messages. Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh has been on a hot streak.
The 1-2 to Cal. Swung on, blasted left field. This is hit well. It is back. It is on its way, and it is gone.
Raleigh notched 2 home runs in Seattle's 5-3 win over the Cincinnati Reds yesterday. The team is playing right now in Cincinnati. At the bottom of the 5th, the score is Seattle Mariners 4, Cincinnati 2. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine today with highs in the mid-60s. It's 55 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday, April 17th. It's also a day that after work today, Ursula will be going to hang out, enjoying the weather, being out and about.
Yes, as you
spending money at local businesses. And that's what she does.
Helping them out, spreading joy. Yeah. We all could use a little extra joy. Coming up at 11:30, you know, we do a lot of retirement talk because for some of us, it's a little closer than others.
Yeah.
But if you're too young to retire, would you consider a mini retirement? Apparently, a lot of young people are doing that these days.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to share why I think it's a great idea, but only under certain conditions. Okay, so text us 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Would you consider a mini retirement, maybe between jobs, taking a little time off, if you could?
All right, let's get to it. By the way, during the break, I'm having a moment with Sandy in Fairwood. She's texting me stuff, and it's almost like she has listened to my life because she's telling me something that she's going through that she was going through, but I've gone through it. But anyway, that's just my moment. But let's get to Agree to Disagree. Brought to you by Garden Roofing and Gutters.
What do you say? We just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
I'm sure you've heard all of the hacked messages at the crosswalks in the University District earlier today.
Yeah.
We played some similar messages from Palo Alto and San Francisco, where Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk got spoofed. My question, though, SDOT pointed out that, you know, people need those kind of crosswalk signals for ADA compliance, etc. And Gee, if they catch whoever does this or whoever did this, should they be severely punished for it?
Yes. And by the way, there's prejudice to what I'm saying. They should be punished because I didn't like, and by the way, I would probably not be as harsh if they didn't say one thing in there. But, Chef, they added for CEOs or whatever to get Luigi'd.
Did they actually advocate for that in there? Maybe I didn't hear that.
You guys didn't hear that part?
Yeah, I heard. They didn't advocate for it, but they threw it in snarkily. Right.
Yeah, that's not even
But wait
funny.
a minute.
That part's not even funny.
We know what that's insinuating.
Yes, I know what that means. Yep.
Okay. So with that being said, yes, charge them. I think that is a threat on CEOs' lives right there. I didn't like that.
Okay, I think should they be severely punished? I think they should be punished for what it is. Do I think they're going to get caught? I mean, we've got hackers doing other things too that are actually doing a lot more damage. And I would say that they are getting away with it. And I don't know if realistically whoever's behind this would get caught. Yeah. But if this is considered malicious mischief, or I mean, that's basically a gross misdemeanor or a felony, depending on how you charge it. So I would say they should be punished as applicable by current law.
Okay.
I thought it was hilarious. I was actually a little surprised at your very serious tone about it, because I think we understand the difference between explicit threats and, you know, jokes in jest, right? The whole idea that this is putting people out who are disabled, I understand that vibe. I really do. But half of the sidewalks in Seattle, you can't even use a wheelchair on. There are no curb cuts on them. Like city's own audit says half of our sidewalks are out of compliance.
That's wrong too.
Yeah, it is wrong. But the fact that, I mean, we all know this was going to take a day, 2 days to fix. How many people is it going to legitimately inconvenience? Not that many. And I think it was genius because this story locally has probably received at least $200,000 in free marketing over the last day.
For whom?
For whom? For the messages that they're putting out there. Basically that the billionaires controlling our society are not good people and do not have our best interest at heart.
If you agree with that messaging, then you think it's brilliant and a great prank. If you don't agree with it, it's like a waste of taxpayer dollars. I would argue that it's a waste either way because now they have to fix it. And here's my question. Why is it so easy to tamper with these kind of things? I mean, wasn't SDOT the same agency that had those reader boards where someone did something kind of similar?
Yeah.
I guess if there's a way to be trolled, you will be trolled. And maybe it's a reminder for all these agencies, have better safeguards.
Yeah, I mean.
So who can I ask this, though? I'm not blind. And I've never, at least not yet. But being serious for those that really do depend on these crosswalks. Is that funny?
Probably not.
All right. It is Easter this Sunday, also another holiday, I guess. Gee pointed out, but the whole thing about painting eggs, they're a little expensive this year. I've seen some people online. They're suggesting that you could just use potatoes as an alternative. You paint the potatoes and you hide them in the yard. Okay, a couple of questions, Ursula. Should you paint the potatoes, and are the painted eggs outdated?
Well, first of all, I love the idea that people are going to resort to painting potatoes. Because I remember when our kids were young, it was just really fun to see what the Easter Bunny left. And if it were potatoes or eggs, actual eggs, I think the joy of hunting them down and getting the most eggs was the number one priority. But the reality for me, even then, and yes, it was many years ago that my kids were that young, they loved the plastic eggs that we recycled every year.
Yep.
And what you put in them.
That's the one.
So what I would do is just have the paint a few eggs. Maybe we would do a dozen eggs. Now, maybe because eggs are so expensive, even if the price is going down a little bit, just do a couple of eggs. So you have that experience and you have that beautiful decorative egg because they are much more beautiful.
Right.
But I don't think the kids are going to suffer.
Can I give families with kids a life hack?
Yes.
Please.
Here you go. Make sure you invite the auntie or the family member with some money over to the house for the Easter egg hunt. Because I can assure you, when you invite them over, I remember back in the day, when you invite them over, they the one got the big eggs. You know what I mean? They got them big eggs. Like, oh, okay, let me put some money. But you quit inviting over your friends over there. They're not going to contribute. That's going to be like, oh, I got $1 to put in there. Bring that rich person over that's going to bring over and put them $100 bills in them eggs.
Okay, so you know what I loved, though, about Easter egg hunts? I mean, you bring a great point, great life hack. But I just remember that I tried to make it all fair. And they were, because one of the biggest fights that would happen on Easter would be, oh my gosh, such and such got 12 eggs and I only got 3.
The little kids would always.
Right, I know, and I felt horrible. So I said, have at it, have fun finding the eggs, but at the end, you guys figure out how you're going to divvy them up.
Yeah, you got
Really?
I know.
I mean, competition is a part of life, right?
Exactly. So I said, you have the competition. You can brag that you got the most eggs, but ultimately.
And then you believe in redistribution of wealth, Ursula? That's socialism.
Yes. Apparently it started early.
Are you kidding me? See, we usually just have like the little kids start early and the older kids have to wait like 3-4 minutes. So the little kids get all the obvious ones. You guys seriously got money in your Easter eggs? Is that a recent thing? Because I never remember that growing up.
No, it's not recent.
That's the thing with the plastic eggs.
Yeah, the plastic eggs. Yeah.
I think we need to be done with the painted eggs. It's just messy.
Ain't nobody
it
eating
stinks.
It's fun.
Right? Yeah, but it never turns out how you want to. If you're one of the people that does really cool paintings on them, I know there's a Ukrainian style. It's very popular. It's awesome, but they're just gross, and you got stinky old eggs in your fridge for months.
Did you ever eat the Easter eggs that were colored?
You crack them open, and occasionally you get one that wasn't, stained on the inside. But just by virtue of cracking it open and having the dye on your hands, it gets all over it, and then it's fine, but it's not appetizing.
No.
In the same way that, dyeing stuff on St. Patrick's Day green, like, I don't want green eggs. I don't want green pancakes. That's just weird. I don't want green orange juice or whatever people do. Anyways, down in Florida, there was a bride who was late to her own wedding. She was stopped by a police officer because she clocked 105 in a 45-mile-an-hour zone. My question, Ursula, is there any legit reason as a civilian that you should be driving at a speed wildly over the limit?
I can only think of one right now where I wished my sister would have broken all speed limits. And that was after my water broke with our first child. And the pain was tremendous. And oh my gosh, my sister Tina went, it seemed like she found every bump on the road. She found every intersection that had a red light. I mean, she could not go fast enough. So that would be the one instance that I can think of right off the bat. If you are in the midst of labor and you need to get to the hospital quickly, as safely as you can do it, I would say go as fast as you can.
Yeah. I'm here tickling over Todd and Burien that says, geez, who hurt you, Chef, when you were young? My goodness, when it comes to the coloring of eggs. That was funny.
It's messy.
Okay. Hey, so in this case, look, I would assume that there are just certain times, Ursula, where no matter what, you might end up speeding. Like the birth of a child, like you are afraid. Like I've never seen a childbirth in the backseat of a car. I've heard stories about that, but I can assume that you're trying to hurry up and get to the hospital before that happens. You feel me?
Yeah.
Or there's another one. We got to use the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, and y'all know what I'm talking about. And
like one of those times when you had to disappear suddenly from the studio.
And here's the thing, though, Ursula. Here's what I've noticed. Have you noticed that when you got to use the bathroom and you are in your car, have you noticed that it intensifies the closer you get to the house?
Yes.
And for some reason, that one stoplight, it's like somebody's playing games with you. It's like somebody has control of the stoplights and they can tell your pattern that you got to use the bathroom. And you get to that stoplight and it stops you. And you so bad want to run it, but you got a suspended license maybe, so you don't want to get caught or something like that. But you got to use the bathroom. And then you finally get in the house and you walk it in there, right? And then I turn the music down. If I can't have any music, or I need to be quiet in the car before I make it there, and I walk in, and I run in and barely make it.
What is that about our physiology of like the human body? It's like there's a homing beacon in your body that knows when you're getting closer, and the closer you get, the more urgent it is. It's really messed up. You're right. Good point. All right. South Carolina, this is a brand new story. There's some influencers who are shooting TikToks in a historic cemetery. It was nothing graphic, nothing lewd, anything like that. But people in local media were saying, hey, the only thing you should use a cemetery for is, visiting. It's a quiet place of reverence. Filming videos is completely déclassé. Gee, is it okay to shoot videos in cemeteries? Historic?
Absolutely not. Nah, I'm not feeling that, Ursula. Now, if I put that line in the sand right there, I'm not crossing over that. Now, you want to film, make sure it's specific to your family or loved ones in that moment, in that specific space. But as far as other people, no, we can't do that.
I agree. I totally agree with you. I was actually just at the cemetery up there in Shoreline, near Lake Ballinger, where some of my family members are buried. And the idea of someone prancing around while you are trying to pay your respects to your loved ones and someone prancing around filming a video, not, trampling around the gravestones or the flowers out there, or I don't know. I would not feel good about that.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to the word influencer. I think that's why I'm most annoyed by it. I mean, like, they shoot movies in cemeteries all the time. This is just a amateur version of it. But because it's the fact that it's for likes on social media, that's what makes it so disgusting and toxic to me. I cannot fathom doing that, but I also can't fathom trying to farm content online. Next year, World Cup's coming, and they are looking for volunteers. Gee, I saw this headline and I kind of blinked because, you have the opportunity to pass out literature, drinks to people, provide directions, be a local guide, that kind of thing. Shouldn't they get paid for that? Do you think FIFA has enough money? They're asking us for $20 million in the legislature.
I had a email the other day, Chef.
Yeah.
And in that email, it said, Hi, G. Scott. We were wanting to see if you can come and speak to our organization that we're going to be doing. We're a nonprofit and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, what's your budget? Oh, no, we wanted to see if you'd volunteer to come here and do that.
Oh, man.
The fact, hold on. If somebody, look, here's the thing.
I'm going to give you a bad time about this.
Oh, okay. No problem. No problem. This is very easy. The fact that FIFA in the World Cup is going to depend on free labor. Now, if you want to volunteer and you're like, hey, I want to come and do this, cool. But I'm sorry, FIFA World Cup, you should be looking to add to the economy. You should be looking to pay people to come and do those things. It almost as if, like, sometimes you go to sporting events and you see organizations that are hired to come and work at these stadiums where the amount of money is very minimum. But these sports franchises are making a whole lot of money. So much so that the stadiums are built by taxpayer dollars. So if the stadium is built by taxpayer dollars and the people working inside the stadium make very little money.
Okay, so
there are real volunteer opportunities, right?
Here's a couple of thoughts. First of all, when you're asked if you want to volunteer, a perfectly good answer is no.
Yeah.
And you can just scroll on by and look at that and say, no, I don't want to.
But you sound like a jerk.
No. Well, I'm talking about, first of all, on this World Cup stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
for sure.
So no one's putting a gun to your head and saying you need to volunteer.
Yeah.
And I'm going to guess that there are going to be some benefits of volunteering for FIFA, including if you are a major soccer fan and you want to be in that environment. And one of the things that I've noticed, I mean, I like soccer, but people who love soccer would do anything to be a part of that whole environment, right? So if you're going to volunteer and it gives you access to games that you might not otherwise have, why wouldn't you? So of course I would put that out there. On the other part of it, not everything has to come with a price tag. And I think sometimes people actually really enjoy volunteering. I'm one of those people.
Same. So am I. No doubt about it. But it's a very fine line. It's a thin line.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You don't want to be taken advantage of, is what you're saying. I mean, especially from an organization or a group that has a ton of money to spend.
As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, I can't believe I just told that story. Tonight, I have an event, and guess what? I'm volunteering.
There you go. See?
I'm volunteering tonight. I just thought about that. I'll be working tonight, and by the way, it feels good.
Exactly.
Because I was able to do that, right? All right. Sometimes, Ursula, when we're talking about topics, I don't like it when I have to edit myself. I have to stop right there because sometimes I can just take the topic to another level. So sometimes I got to stop and just...
I think there are people who are saying, don't edit yourself. But we do that all the time.
We do it all the time,
Yeah, it's because we want to keep our jobs.
All right. So I love this topic next. What are we talking about?
Talking about mini retirement. So
Okay.
for some people, that's maybe just a few years away, but for others, that's a long time away. And a new trend, apparently, among youngsters is to take a mini retirement. Is that a good idea?
Let's do that next, Jen or something.
At KIRO News Radio, our commitment goes beyond delivering the latest headlines.
Authorities say they've busted a violent drug trafficking ring in Seattle.
Mayor Bruce Harrell says this operation should go a long way toward putting a stop to crime in the CID.
We dive deep into the stories that matter, helping you understand the impact on your community and your life.
Even if you do get caught, you're going to probably get a small little smack on the hand.
You can have your opinions, I can have mine.
KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
Kia of Everett believes that when you're buying your new Kia, it should be simple, easy, and fun. So come in for our spring savings event. You'll get our best price first, complimentary appraisals to get your highest trade-in value, with 3 complimentary oil changes and 2 complimentary tire rotations. The best drive you'll ever take is to Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
Some restrictions apply. Visit KiaofEverett.com for details.
At Dunn, relationships are everything. It's why we build a culture around building the best relationships possible, building joy and trust, one interaction at a time. So whether you need trusted advice, help with material selection, project planning, or loading your vehicle, we go the extra mile to remove as much of the hassle as we can.
If there's anything we can do to serve you better, contact me personally. Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building success together.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through April 21st, new customers can get started with 150 megabit internet and security edge for $49.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying internet package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Early termination fee applies.
From groceries to home prices, the cost of living in Washington state keeps going up. Now, Olympia politicians are proposing the largest tax increases in state history. Don't be fooled. If taxes go up, we'll all pay even more. Washington needs lower costs, not higher taxes. Tell the politicians no by visiting www.affordablewashington.org. Paid for by the people for an affordable Washington. Top 5 contributors are Washington Alliance for a Competitive Economy, Microsoft, Madrona, T-Mobile, and Amazon.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on mynorthwest.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
Cold leaking and rocks are moving and moon is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
This Easter, we invite you to share your egg-siding creations with us. Hartley Wilcox here. Submit your beautifully decorated Easter egg photos to our Wilcox Family Farms Facebook page and join the community in celebrating this joyous holiday. For over a century, our farm-fresh eggs have been a part of your cherished traditions. From our family to yours, we wish you a happy and colorful Easter filled with love, joy, and delicious Wilcox eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Charlie Harger here. When your hot turns to cold, you better think fast. Fast water heater. Call 1-800-THINK-FAST. That's 1-800-THINK-FAST or fastwaterheater.com.
You better think fast. Fast water heater.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Justin, a former Sumner High School coach found guilty of sexually abusing 8 players, has been sentenced to 40 years in prison. Jacob Jackson was found guilty on 19 counts of sexual abuse. At least 6 people have been injured, one of them critically, in a shooting at Florida State University. Student Blake Leonard heard the shots ring out.
And then I looked back and I saw everybody flooding out of the union and everything. And I was probably like a couple hundred people trying to get out of there.
Police say the shooter is in custody. President Trump is keeping up his pressure today on Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell after Powell said Trump's tariffs will likely cause higher inflation and slower economic growth.
I'm not happy with him. I let him know it, and if I want him out, he'll be out of there real fast, believe me.
Constitutional law expert James Sample.
The mere threat of terminating Chairman Powell is uncharted territory. The idea of following through on it raises a host of, at this point, unsettled legal questions.
Meantime, a key Washington state industry may take a multi-million-dollar hit because of the tariffs. Chris Stone is deputy director of the Washington State Wine Commission, which represents over 1,000 family-owned wineries and 400-plus farmers. He says the tariffs have drawn retaliation.
The best example would be Canada, our number one export market, which literally evaporated, disappeared overnight.
In response to the U.S. tariffs, Canada has banned U.S. alcohol sales, a loss of $10 to $12 million in business. President Trump says his tariffs will boost manufacturing in the U.S. and give the U.S. leverage to reduce tariffs that other countries place on American goods. Washington State Senate Democrats just made a rule change that could get their tax proposals passed quicker.
When a bill passes out of a committee, there's a 24-hour hold in case lawmakers change their mind. But with more than a dozen tax bills sitting in the queue and the end of session just days away, Senate Majority Leader Jamie Peterson says that delay needs to go. Republican Senator Drew McEwen.
Why we're having this rule change is because there's a lot of tax bills that are being heard that could have been introduced sooner, and frankly, given the public more time to hear that.
5 tax bills heard in committee Wednesday were introduced just the day before. Matt Markovich, KIRO News Radio.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 250 points. NASDAQ is up 93. From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, I am seeing a possible crash on northbound I-5 that has you bogged down from north of Boeing Field to the Spokane Street Viaduct. Travel time Federal Way to Seattle is 32 minutes. That is almost 10 minutes longer than usual. Keep an eye out for road crews near Enumclaw, a striping cruise on State Route 410 between White River Bridge and Grass Mountain, and on State Route 18 westbound between Auburn and Maple Valley. There will be periodic lane closures for road work. Traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine today with highs in the mid-60s. It's 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. I hope you are enjoying the sunshine today. We're going to have more sunshine tomorrow, as you heard from Heather. And it is already 58 degrees right now. So if you are too young to retire, would you consider a mini retirement? For many, the whole idea of retirement is still so far away. And that's why some young workers today are spending their savings now and taking what is known as a mini retirement. New York Times reporter Isabella Quai interviewed some of the people who have taken extended time off between jobs.
So the people I spoke with, many of them report coming back from a mini retirement with an increased sense of well-being, more confident and more clarity about what they want to do in the future. So this isn't just, I'm tired of working and I'm taking a break. It's a way to recalibrate and think about how you want the rest of your career to go.
So the question I have for all of you listening right now and for you, G, is this a good idea given what we are dealing with right now? So many people losing their jobs left and right. And as this reporter points out, you do have money to do. You need to have money to do this.
It's a self-funded break away from traditional full-time employment. People think of it as a way to step back from work and invest in other areas of their life. Of course, to take a mini retirement, it requires a degree of financial stability. And the people I spoke with who do this, they're very intentional about it. They often take months to save up.
Ursula, I love this topic that you're bringing up. When I was walking in, by the way, Angela Poe Russell is filling in today on the Jake and Spike show. So you guys get an opportunity to hear Angela here pretty soon. Well, when I was walking in, she said, "Hey, G," and she calls me over. And she says, "Do you know what money dysmorphia is?" And I was like, no. What is that?
What body dysmorphia is,
right.
but not money dysmorphia.
Money dysmorphia, by the way, they're going to be talking about this on the show today, is basically when you think that you're doing worse than you really are. You see what I'm saying?
I think a lot of people are feeling that, especially if you're tracking the stock market and freaking out about that.
Right. Ursula, I will say, I know today there's been a theme of me taking shots at you about what you do after work and all those stuff, and you're all going to have a good time. But I tell you, you're doing it right. And what I mean by you're doing it right is because a lot of us are stuck in this rat race. A lot of us are stuck in this trying to work so hard, and you're moving all the time. And sometimes if you have an opportunity to maybe go visit other countries, you have an opportunity to go live. If you have that opportunity for a mini retirement where you are able to go reset, please go do it.
Now, is that an epiphany for you, or is that something as you're looking that you wish you could do that right now? And the reason I ask that is because one of my sons is in this exact same position.
Please do it.
And he is going to be walking away from a job that pays him more than I make right now after 30 plus years. And my mom instinct would be, you're doing this in this climate? Mm-hmm. But he's very intentional about it. He has saved up a ton of money to do it, and he wants to do it in between. Now he's already told his employer, and he wants to do it between going to grad school. He wants to get an MBA. Sure. And so, but there's that fear of, oh my gosh, what if you can't get a job that was as good as the one that you have right now? Mm-hmm. And the thing is, he's 28. He's willing to take that risk right now. Right. And so I think that in certain conditions, it would make sense. Mm-hmm. This whole idea of a mini retirement, but I'm also hearing what you're saying. And the only reason I'm doing this now is because, I turned 60. And I'll tell you what, my girlfriend that I met with last night, we're about the same age. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about that. Something about this age right now, and for you, it might be different. But for me, turning 60 is very different than turning 50. And I'm looking at I don't want to assume, I cannot assume that tomorrow's going to happen. So I'm going to do within reason what I can today to make sure that, my family's taken care of, and I'm also making sure that I live my best life. Yeah.
And I love that. And you ask me, is the way that I'm talking right now and the way that I'm feeling right now, is this an epiphany? Is this something? Are things changing? And the answer to that is yes. And what's changing for me is, I know we had the discussion earlier today about Tesla. Right. And I admitted to you that I don't drive the Tesla anymore, hardly. And I admitted to you that I paid a lot of money for this Tesla. Right. What's starting to happen for me is I'm starting to, as I get ready to turn 50 next year, I think I am finally heading into the time in my life where nice material things doesn't do for me what it used to, right? I used to think that having these things would make me feel better, and they don't, right? So I would rather have moments.
Experiences. That's 1,000%.
So that's why when I hear about your son walking away from that job, or when I hear about people, mini retirements, and you know what? It's more important for my mental health. It's more important that I am feeling good about myself than it is about all of these different expensive things. And by the way, whatever your vice is. It could be cars, it could be clothes, it could be trips, it could be all these things. Perfumes, whatever your vice is, right? Whatever it is, do what makes you happy, and hopefully that you, because I know a lot of people. Sometimes I can be people. I've been that way. Sometimes you can be financially doing better than you ever have in your life.
But you're not enjoying it.
Yes. Matter of fact, you were times when you were the brokest.
I have been there too.
Yeah.
Well,
not now.
Right now, I'm trying my best to live a good life.
Yeah. A lot of people agreeing with you, Ursula. Ursula, I am 6. This is our good buddy Tom.
He's
Ursula,
so sweet.
I am 67, about to turn 68. And I have to tell you, 60 was the most enjoyable birthday I ever had because there's a freedom that allows you to do what you want no matter what. As for your son, I was 28 years old and I was a vice president of a trucking company and I walked away.
Wow.
I've never made as much money as I did then, and I also have never been happier. Whoa.
Wow.
First of all, I just got to say, I'm glad we talked about this because a lot of you all that are in your 50s and a lot of you in your 60s are really texting in and giving us some real game and knowledge. Thank you. Please
there is this newfound freedom.
Keep it coming.
Yes.
Keep it coming. Please, 888-973-5476. Keep texting and letting us know. What is it like? Tell us. You guys got more experience than us. All right. Your text messages, feedback. Then we'll have Ursula's words to live by.
Will new tariffs impact small businesses? Rising costs and economic uncertainty can hurt your bottom line. But with Swish Funding, your business can stay strong. We offer fast, flexible funding solutions from $10,000 to $2 million for working capital, cash flow, and more, and as little as 24 hours with no collateral needed. If your business earns at least $50,000 per month and has been around for over a year, you could qualify today. Go to swishradio.com and use code GROW. swishradio.com, code GROW.
You know what's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, Junior Hot and Crispy Fries, and small soft drink is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Unlimited time does not mean forever. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California and via third-party delivery. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
Meanwhile, at Xfinity. So, influencer life going well?
Oh, yeah. I'm up to 32 followers.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah, posting my tap dancing videos is easier than ever because we engineered Xfinity Internet with 99.99% network reliability.
Plus, Xfinity Mobile with Wi-Fi Power Boost gives you ultra-fast Wi-Fi at home and on the go. But wait, tap dancing? You don't tap dance.
Hey, what I lack in skill, I make up with passion.
Do more of what you love and love how fast you do it with Xfinity Internet and mobile. Through June 23rd, get 400 megabit Xfinity Internet with free equipment and unlimited internet data. Plus, get one unlimited 5G mobile line included, all for $40 a month for 1 year. And ask how you can get a free 5G phone. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply with paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Xfinity Internet required. Taxes, fees extra. After 1 year, rate increases to $70 per month. After 2 years, regular rates apply. Actual fees vary and not guaranteed.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Are you putting off your new kitchen plans? Why wait? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft, and we've got an offer you're not going to want to wait for. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Stop waiting. We're having a trade-in sale. You'll save $30 per door and drawer front off the cost of your new kitchen. Count them up and see how much you'll save. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600 or heritagehomecraft.com.
My wife and I have been married for over 15 years, and I've never had any complaints about my performance in the bedroom. But after I turned 40, things started feeling different. I was gaining weight, losing muscle, and I just wasn't interested in sex anymore. My wife told me her friend's husband went through the same thing, and it turns out he had low testosterone. So we booked a free T-check at Revive Health, and that's when I learned that my testosterone levels were low too. We worked with a provider to create a custom treatment plan, and today, my wife and I are having more fun than we did on our honeymoon. My only regret is not reaching out sooner.
If you're ready to book your free T-check, visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com or call 206-529-1111. Again, that's 206-529-1111.
When the heat's in 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
DayandNight.net.
Beat the rush.
Act now before summer.
Because that heat's a real bummer.
DayandNight.net.
This is the time to plan ahead so you stay cool this summer. Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Now save up to $4,600 on qualifying cooling equipment.
DayandNight.net. At the Harnish Auto family, people matter isn't just a saying. It's how they do business. For over 40 years, their dealerships, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Volkswagen, Subaru of Puyallup, plus Chevrolet and Kia of Everett, have built a stellar reputation on trust, respect, and great deals. From supporting local charities to making sure every customer drives away happy, they're here for you. Stop by any of their dealerships or visit HarnishAutoFamily.com and find your next car today. Harnish Auto Family. People matter.
Old windows cost you money and security. Lake Washington Windows and Doors installs energy-efficient, high-security windows that lower your bills and increase protection. With leak armor installation and lifetime warranties, you're protected for life. Choose LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
Right now, have ultra-efficient, clean technology windows installed and pay zero down with zero interest and zero payments for 18 months. Only from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. And they'll even pay your sales tax. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. This week at Jazz Alley, join Madeline Peru on her Let's Walk tour, April 17th through 20th. With her honeyed voice and mix of jazz, folk, and pop, Madeline's music is a journey for the soul. Get your tickets at jazzalley.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
Wow. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. And
we're being inspired. We're being inspired by all your text messages right now.
I mean,
with sharing your stories and choices you've made.
A lot of you all are really, can I just play it? Can I just start going?
Please.
Eric just texted us and says, I can't believe it's been over 5 years listening to this show. I'm 51 and don't care about the stuff anymore. The next 5 years are going to go by just as fast as the last 5. The only thing I really have is what I do with that time. I'd rather have experiences than work for stuff I really don't need. How much is a day like today on a deck running the smoker? For me, priceless. God bless this show.
That sounds like you in the future.
Yeah, what?
Being on the deck and running the smoker? I love that. Gary and Shelton says, when it comes to retirement, Ursula, believe me, you're going to have to do something after you leave your job. It's not going to be anytime soon, despite any rumors. Find something that you enjoy doing and doing it on your own terms. But the most important thing is your health. It's very true. And it's an everyday thing that comes first. Myself, I like volunteering at our local nursing home and visiting with all the clients. How awesome is that?
Greg in a 425 says, I retired at 62. I changed careers. I am now a domestic engineer. I take care of the house for my wife, who's a school teacher for ESL students. We take the summer off. We travel in our RV. We hike. I love it. I do it again. I don't regret it.
Brian in Bellevue says, we were on the fence to go on a trip to London this year. Our conversation, he says, this helped me push me off the fence and across the pond. Thank you.
Ah, man. Here we go. When we were 60, from the 210, when we were 60, it wasn't a mini retirement, but we spent 40 days walking the 500 miles of the Camino de Santiago.
By the way, that is one of the things that my older son wants to do in between.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so send some tips about that. Okay, hey, the Mariners and their catcher are hot. That's one of the things we brought up today. And Robin Puyallup says, what do Gee and Sir Mix-a-Lot have in common? They both love the big dumper.
Okay, Rob.
Does Cal Raleigh love that nickname?
I don't know.
Think? I guess a nickname means that people
You're right.
Love you.
Right. I mean, Chef, do you love your nickname?
Ain't nobody talking about my bubble butt. So sure, I'm good with it.
On tariffs hurting Washington businesses, Carrie and Bonnie Lake said, someone I know was laid off last week because of tariffs, and import businesses are truly on edge.
Chris in Marysville says, it's easy to say hold on and tighten your belt when it's coming from a billionaire. They have no concern about money. This is so frustrating.
Uncle Jim says, here is what is going to happen. Orders are going to be held, ships will be backlogged, production will be stalled, or products will collect in bad storage conditions. Shipping costs will skyrocket. Ports of entry will be backed up. Next, port workers will go on strike because now they have leverage. There are billions of items that cannot be made fiscally in the U.S. We've all looked at it, and he predicts some hardship ahead.
New checkpoints coming to SCA Airport. Janice in Federal Way says they should move Alaska Airlines to the end of the drive, the little circle, arrivals and departures, by international, as that causes the bottleneck on the drive.
Tesla regret syndrome. 562 says, Tesla owner 2023, love the vehicle. I'm going to keep driving mine. Owners are nuts, but the company employs lots of other people and they have a great product. I'm hoping he will get removed from the company by shareholders, like often happens when founders of companies go nuts. Owning the vehicle does not make me feel like I agree with Elon's actions.
I want to tell the 562 that just text that, you're so right. A vehicle is amazing. The process, but by the way, the process, Ursula, to buy a Tesla is one that I wish other car companies would abide by.
They're not legally allowed to.
The whole going into these places and still doing the, okay, what kind of deal you want? Write this down. Let me go take it to my sales manager. Stop it already. I don't want to talk to you this way. Tell me what my price is. If it says I'm going to pay $499 for a lease or whatever, when I come in, it's $499. It's not $599. It's not $799. Just give me the damn price.
Glad you got that
Ursula,
off your chest.
did you get Jeremy's?
Yes,
Okay.
I want to mention that because a lot of you are still texting in decisions you've made, career choices you've made, what you want to do before you retire, regarding our topic about mini retirements. And Jeremy, the hot sauce guy, says, hey guys, I left a great position at Boeing to pursue our family hot sauce business. I now don't have the great pay and benefits, but I wake up every single day feeling grateful and motivated. There is no comparison. And I just want everyone to know that I tried that Sea Fire Gourmet, and that hot sauce is fire.
It is so good. Really good.
It comes in this most beautiful box, too. So, yeah, you need to check it out.
Ursula, let's go. Let's see what's up with your words to live by.
And this is a quote from Henry David Thoreau, who says, live in the present, launch yourself on every wave, and find eternity in each moment. It's a good reminder for us all.
There you go. All right, Ursula. It's time for a dentist appointment right after the show. It's a root canal.
Today?
No anesthesia either.
Yeah, we got a meeting.
I forgot about that temporarily.
The meeting with the boss.
Yes.
The meeting with the boss.
He called it a root canal.
It's a root canal.
Okay.
It's the equivalent of that.
This is true.
Oh, wait.
But, this is not true.
Wait, you agree with it?
No, actually, I don't.
You guys heard it. You guys heard Ursula agree with me that a
Only
meeting with the boss.
I saw that it was time to get out of the show.
What happened to Company Man?
I know, Gee. Bad influence.
Forget them bosses. All right, Ursula, good stuff. Thanks, Chef. Appreciate you. Hey, coming up here next, the Jake and Spike Show is going to be joining us. Angela Poe Russell is joining the Jake and Spike Show today, so stick around. We'll do this again tomorrow. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Whoa. More fiber?
What?
Down here, buddy. It's me, your spoon. Constipation with belly pain still coming back?
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, but Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Why choose Care Partners Senior Living over in-home care? Amanda here. The answer is simple. Care Partners communities provide safe living spaces with medical professionals on site. We assist you with your mobility so you can participate in activities whenever you like. You can have privacy and socialize at your own pace. And you may find Care Partners more affordable than in-home care.